Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto. I have Super Saiyan JinchuRiki inside me. Chapter 61. My lord, are you still continuing? With a thick bandage wrapped around his right chest, Wu Wei, who was on crutches, limped to the central square of Ghost Lamp City with the support of the jailer, and asked Xianglin, who was sitting on the stone pier, swinging her little feet non-stop. Xianglin rested her head on her hands, and said boredly, Uncle Wu Wei, you're still fighting. Okay. Wu Wei nodded and ordered his subordinates. Prepare dinner for Miss. Yes. In the sky above the Ghost Lamp City, the sound of ping, ping, ping pong, pong pong echoed continuously in the Ghost Lamp City. 3 days have passed since Wu Wei opened the box of bliss. Ever since Naruto discovered the use of Satoru's immortality in the box of Elysium, he has been fighting. It is said to be fighting, but it is actually more like a one-sided beating. In front of Naruto, Satoru has no power to fight back. Being able to hit Naruto is purely because Naruto wants to find someone to practice in a duel. His strength, speed and even special abilities are all overwhelmed. At this time, there was a sharp whistling in the sky. Looking up, I saw a fiery red meteorite falling down at an extremely fast speed. With a sound of dwang, it hit the ground hard. There is another pothole in Ghost Lantern City. The current Ghost Lantern City is also full of potholes like the surface of the moon. It was a hardy battle. Naruto's voice sounded in the air, and he was seen slowly falling. No wonder teacher Kakarot often said that only in actual combat can the combat power be improved faster. Uzumaki big brother. Rin shouted happily after seeing Naruto. Naruto nodded at Rin, and walked towards the location where the meteorite fell just now. Don't play dead. With your recovery ability, this injury is nothing at all. Come again. Roar. I saw Wu roaring up to the sky. His huge mouth, half the size of his body, was almost completely opened, and a black air rose up all over his body. Enlightenment's runaway state. Coming. Just as Naruto was getting ready, accumulating strength under his feet, and was about to punch Satoru head-on, who knew that Satoru turned around and ran away without even looking at Naruto. No wonder I didn't think about anything, I was planning to run away. Single quote. You still want to run after you offended the abbot? Naruto was taken aback for a moment, kicked his feet and chased Wu at a very fast speed. Stop. The ghosts stop. Single quote. Enlightenment speed is faster. 3 days, that's 3 full days. He was beaten unilaterally for 3 days and 3 nights, day and night. Even if he knew it was hard, he couldn't bear this kind of torture. It's true that his body is close to immortality, but it doesn't mean it doesn't feel pain. What's wrong with Satoru? Does enlightenment mean there is no human rights? Is being a monster only worthy of being beaten? Why, if it wasn't for his lack of eyes, Wu would have been so wrong that he would have cried. I don't want to come out, I want to go back. Single quote. At this moment, Satoru exploded with an unprecedented desire to survive. For the first time, he caught up with Naruto's speed, and before Naruto caught him, he turned into a black smoke and entered the bliss box with a whoosh. At the same time, the opened door of the bliss box slammed shut, and the other 3 sides also closed instantly, as if fearing that Naruto would follow in. Open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. You have the ability to run out, you have the ability to open the door. Don't hide in there and make no noise, I know you're home. Naruto rolled up his sleeves and slapped towards the bliss box. The whole box, no, the whole Ghost Lantern City was trembling with that slap, and his eyelids twitched wildly when he saw Wu Wei. What is this? Single quote. It's more like a monster than Satoru. Single quote. Mr. Wu Wei, it's rude to speak ill of people behind their backs. Naruto's light words scared Wu Wei. Immediately turned his head to look at the sky, emptying his mind. However, no matter how Naruto slapped it, the bliss box seemed to be broken, the red light and black energy disappeared, and it stayed in place without moving. The arrogant arrogance and aura of destroying everything are gone, just like an ordinary ugly box. Why don't you break it open and have a look? This thought flashed in Naruto's mind, and without a word, he raised his fist and slammed it heavily towards the box of bliss. This time, he added chi to his fist, and at the same time he used 10% of his strength. When the sound waves generated by the violent impact made everyone in Ghost Lantern City cover their ears, and bursts of tinnitus continued to echo in their ears. Crack. A tiny crack appeared where Naruto hit it just now. After more than 1,000 years, the box of bliss, which has not been damaged by any degree of attack, has a crack for the first time. Buzz! A strange red light burst out from the bliss box again. Black gas covered the four sides of the bliss box, and the whole box was trembling. Dissatisfied, Naruto stared, rolled up his sleeves, and made a gesture to throw a second punch. There was another sound from the bliss box. This time the vibration was much more frequent than before, and the red light was flickering on and off. Oh, I'm joking. Naruto spread his hands and pouted. It seems to be talking to the box of bliss. The bliss box expresses its willingness to recognize Naruto's authority to use it, and is willing to submit to Naruto as his weapon, on the condition that it can no longer be smashed. A treasure with partial self-awareness like the bliss box must be recognized by it if you want to use it. The method of only sending chakra like Wu Wei can only be activated and cannot be used correctly. After activation, he just attacked everyone indiscriminately, so Wu Wei immediately killed Wu Wei as soon as he appeared on the stage. On the one hand, it was because he inherited Wugu's memory, and on the other hand, everyone present was within his attack range. Naruto is also recognized by it, but it is obtained at the physical level. It is worth mentioning that the bliss box has no ability to fulfill wishes at all, which was fabricated by later generations. The bliss box is manufactured as a weapon, and its only ability is to destroy. The characteristic of immortality, the ability to read minds, and the ability of the bliss box to absorb life forms and create monsters in large quantities, all had the title of ultimate weapon to destroy the world during the Sage of Six Paths period. The bliss box said that as long as Naruto needs it, it can be summoned at any time, and it can be released to help him fight. Naruto said that it is too wasteful to use it for fighting. Looking at the box of bliss, Naruto's eyes shine. What a monster that destroys the world. What a weapon that destroys the world. This is obviously top fitness equipment. Enlightenment has the characteristic of immortality. How resistant to beating, how great. Naruto stroked the side of the word, happy, on the four sides of the bliss box, and said softly. The box of ultimate bliss, I want you to help me practice. Single quote. The bliss box heard the words, and the whole box kept shaking. Ha 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 ha, another one who was driven crazy. Ninetales said gloatingly in the sealed space. What? Wait, why did the old man say again? Single quote. Just to make fun of it, I recently saw someone say that my combat power has collapsed. The reason is that I exploded Kusanagi village, so I can explode Konoha in one go. I was confused at the time. Can Kusanagi village be the same as Konoha? A village without even a shadow, a place as big as a sesame seed. In terms of enchantment, it can't even compare with the current Vortex country, and it is worthy of comparison with the 5 great nations. Secondly, I won't say much about the difference in combat power before and after Hokage. There are a lot of people who can push Konoha flatly. Pushing Konoha is just a basic exercise. Do you think Senju Hashirama can't hold a knife anymore, or that Ninja Red Rose can't dance? Naruto still hasn't learned Kaioken yet. Master Uzumaki. Wu Wei knelt in front of Naruto, and said respectfully, the daimyo of the country of grass sent a letter of help. See how I can reply him. 3 days is enough time for Suzuki Jiro to arrive at the Ghost Lamp City, and it is also enough for the news of the disappearance of Kusanagi village to reach the Ghost Lamp City. Wu Wei is not an idiot. How can someone who can sit in the Lord of the Ghost Lamp City and deal with the big countries be a mediocre person? And if you think about it a little, you can understand that the things in Kusanagi village are probably done by Naruto. Especially the Xionglan with Naruto. Although wearing a mask and a hood, the experienced Wu Wei still guessed that Xionglan must be related to Kusanagi. So Wu Wei took the initiative to surrender to Naruto. Although he is a former Jonin of Kusanagi village, he actually left Kusanagi more than 10 years ago to manage the Ghost Lamp City. During this period, he has been obsessed with the research of the Box of Elysium, and sacrificed his son 6 years ago for this. Just staggered the time when Xionglan's mother and daughter came to Kusanagi village. It can be said that he did not participate in the harming of Xionglan's mother and daughter. If he didn't say that Xionglan didn't know that he was the former Kusanagi Jonin. If it wasn't for this, Wu Wei would have been killed by Naruto long ago. Grass Ninja Village is gone. Naruto doesn't care about having another Ghost Lamp City. So Naruto accepted his surrender. It is not a bad thing to have more subordinates, especially for the things to be done in the future. The grander the scene, the better. Naruto nodded, and then said flatly, as the owner of Ghost Lamp City, you know how to deal with it yourself. Can the daimyo of the country of grass not be in a hurry? The village of grass ninja is gone. The country of grass without the village of ninja is equivalent to a complete loss of military power. Without military power, the country of grass is still a piece of fat. Don't count on the army in daimyo's hands, that thing can also bluff civilians. The country of Taki next to the country of grass is okay. This country is quite content with the status quo. The problem is that there is an ambitious country of rain next door. Once in action. This is how the Second Ninja World War came about, during which the Kingdom of Rain attempted to annex the country of grass. Now that Grass Ninja Village has been destroyed, Ghost Lamp City has become the largest organization in the country of grass. If the daimyo of the country of grass wants to continue to enjoy the extravagant life, he must rebuild the Kusanagi village. The rebuilding of the Kusanagi village is inseparable from the support of the Ghost Lamp City. The daimyo wants to rebuild the Kusanagi village, please see, my lord. How could Wu Wei not know how to deal with the problem? Naruto didn't dare to nod his head. In particular, he knew why Sao Ninja Village was destroyed. Naruto gave neither affirmation nor negation but said, I don't want to hear the name Kusanagi Village. Understood. Hearing Naruto's reply, Wu Wei heaved a sigh of relief. That's what smart people do. He can understand what Naruto means by simply saying a few words. If you don't want to hear Kusanagi Village, you can call it something else. It doesn't matter whether the shinobi village in the country of grass is called Kusanagi Village. Anyway, the shinobi village in Tianji country is not called Tianren Village, but Yinren Village. Miao Ren Village sounds very nice. Naruto clapped his hands, motioning for Karen, who was practicing in the square, to stop. Xianglin, who was already dripping with sweat, ran to Naruto happily after hearing the words, took off the weight on her body, and started to drink water with the bottle in her arms. A few days ago, Naruto officially began to guide Xianglin to practice. The reason is that the baby of the Uzumaki family should not be too weak. In addition, Xianglin really wanted to practice and become stronger to help Naruto, so she accepted Naruto's guidance. Well, everyone can know what kind of cultivation Naruto can guide. In addition to the basic chakra practice, the only thing Naruto knows is wind-style ninjutsu. Because Xianglin's chakra attribute is water and soil, he can't learn it at all. So what else can Naruto do? Only the pure Guaxian fluid technique. Then Xianglin began to practice weight-bearing. Because it is unattractive for a girl to carry a turtle shell, Xianglin carried a snail shell of the same weight on her back. Tomi, how do you feel today? Naruto asked Karen. Naruto named his code name Uzumaki, and on a whim he gave Xianglin the code name Tomi. Although it's a bit difficult, but I've been able to adapt gradually. Xianglin said as if showing off after walking around Naruto a few times. Now this feeling of seeing myself becoming stronger every day is really great, especially with Naruto by my side. Xianglin feels that she has fallen in love with cultivation. Naruto nodded and praised Xianglin a few words, making the little girl so happy that she was about to take off. It only took Xianglin 3 days to catch up with the 1-week practice progress of Sasuke and the others. This is still when Xianglin is recovering. The Uzumaki family is born with a huge chakra. Huge chakra represents vigorous vitality and is suitable for practicing Yongdan, while Yongdan represents the strength of the body. Therefore, in Naruto's opinion, what is most suitable for the Uzumaki family is not some fancy sealing technique, but physical technique. Think about it. A group of vigorous and tireless taijutsu ninjas. Some of the members can recover after being injured with a bite, and those who can't bite themselves can bite their teammates. Isn't this the ninja remake of Saint Fighter Immortal Xiaoqiang? Not to mention that everyone has reached the level of Guy, but everyone has reached the level of Shaoli Chunin's 4 exams. Who would dare to provoke the country of whirlpools? A group of screaming, Shaoli, is rushing towards you. Just thinking about this scene is scary. On this day, Naruto will call Wu Wei. Wu Wei. Wu Wei said respectfully, the subordinate is here. After Naruto summoned Satoru who had inherited Wugu's memory and untied Wu Wei's knot, his loyalty to Naruto was directly increased. I'm leaving. After leaving Konoha for a while, I don't know if there is anything wrong with the 4th generation imitation. Naruto plans to go back to Konoha. Yes. Naruto paused and continued. I will arrange some subordinates to come here after a while. They may be a little different from ordinary people. Remember to block the news. I don't want their information to leak to the outside world. Do you understand what I mean? Naruto intends to arrange some Uchiha to come to this ghost city. Yes, Master Uzumaki. Wu Wei knew what to do to be a good subordinate. He didn't ask what he shouldn't ask, and didn't say what he shouldn't say. The enchantment system of Ghost Lantern City is very complete, not inferior to the country of Uzumaki that was sealed and enchanted by the 4th generation. As long as it is not Obito's personal invasion, Akatsuki's invasion, or the top powers in the ninja world such as the 5 great nations, it can basically handle the attack. It's not a problem for Uchiha to only stay in the Uzumaki country, he must be sent out to experience some experience. And according to Naruto's vision, there is another country that needs to be visited, and some gadgets there Naruto thinks are quite interesting. But Naruto didn't intend to go there in person, it would be a waste of time to go with his current strength. Uchiha just happens to be the best choice. The premise is that it can be approved by Naruto. If nothing else, at least he can catch half of his punch. The familiar log cabin, the familiar Hokage rock outside the window, and the familiar malice all around. Uzumaki Naruto is back again. Single quote. Welcome home, Naruto. The 4th generation clone looked at Naruto with a smile and said. As expected of the 4th generation, even with the image of Naruto, his smile still has an inexplicable appeal, which makes people feel like a spring breeze. If Hokage Ninja is played with the 4th generation as the protagonist, it will not violate peace at all. I'll probably never be able to smile like that. Single quote. Naruto used to practice in front of a mirror. However, the self in the mirror has only its shape but not its spirit. Thanks for your hard work. There shouldn't be anything troublesome recently, 4th generation. It's not that Naruto doesn't want to call 4th generation's father, it's just that he really can't. Naruto returned to Konoha by himself, and it was impossible for Karen to bring her back to Konoha. She was arranged by Naruto in the country of Uzumaki, and was taken care of by the Fugaku couple. Maybe it's because she has been used to suffering since she was a child, but Xianglin knows how to please people very well, and her ability to observe people's feelings and acting skills is also first-rate, which made her deeply loved by the Fugaku couple in just a few days. Even the Fugaku couple want to recognize her as their daughter. Although this is more or less due to Naruto's relationship, it is also enough to show Karen's alertness. As long as the opponent is not Kusanagi's disgusting bugs, Xianglin's personality can be mixed very well. When Naruto left Uzumaki, Xiangrin was very reluctant, especially after seeing Naruto's true face. This guy Xianglin is a serious face control, Naruto is very sure of this. By the way, Naruto is whiter than the original, and his skin color is closer to 4th generation. Not to mention the skin color, to be precise, the overall image is close to the 4th generation, especially the hairstyle is exactly the same. If you put aside the 3 stripes on the left and right sides of the face, and then put on the imperial robe, it would be a small 4th generation. If there is a comparison, it is Namikaze noodles, which is closer to the 4th generation than Namikaze noodles. It's not so much, it's better to take care of yourself. The 4th generation looked at Naruto lovingly, smiled and released Shadow Clone. After Shadow Clone is released, the main body will get all the memories during Shadow Clone. With the removal of Shadow Clone, Naruto's mind immediately flooded with a bunch of memories of the 4th generation after leaving Konoha. Naruto narrowed his eyes and slowly digested. It took a while to fully open my eyes. After a long time, Naruto let out a slight sigh. Sunshine upright, you would do such a thing. Thanks for your hard work, father. Single quote. In the following days, everything returned to calm, dull and boring, and Naruto even went to school on a whim. Morning, the road will drag. Naruto, who had just stepped into the classroom, was taken aback, he was greeted unexpectedly for the first time. Blonde hair and blue eyes, a bunch of long bangs blocking the right eye, a girl full of vigor. Yamanaka Ino. Naruto raised his eyebrows. Although they are all classmates, he basically has no interaction with the other party. If I remember correctly, Ino was beaten and cried several times by himself. I can cry for a long time with one punch, which is very decompressive. Naruto didn't pay attention to Ino at all, just ignored her and walked straight past her. So handsome. He gave me a smirk. Minimal discussions among the girls reached Naruto's ears. Naruto, I do not know how. What did you do fourth generation? Single quote. I searched for the memory left by the fourth generation shadow clone in my mind. Before focusing on other things, Naruto chose to be careless about these daily memories. I don't know if I don't look at it, just look at it. As expected of you, fourth generation. Naruto almost blurted out subconsciously. How else can the fourth generation become Hokage as a commoner? His diplomacy is real. As long as Naruto left Konoha, fourth generation can make some students in the class change their impression of Naruto, not to mention, even a little popular. First of all, fourth generation takes care of the appearance. Fourth generation is much better than Naruto, who has no other clothes in the cabinet except black and white, and is extremely careless. Secondly, in terms of dressing and matching, even if it is also white, the sweater style chosen by fourth generation looks good Naruto too much. As the saying goes, people rely on clothes and horses rely on saddles, and this has been changed by the fourth generation. Hey, Naruto is still Naruto. After all, this is the bully Naruto. How could Naruto change the image of a bully that he has built up for so long, let alone fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato? Even his brother Namikaze Domon couldn't do it. So fourth generation took another unusual route. Not a bully. Have you ever seen a bad bully? The fourth generation took advantage of this specialty. This kind of personality was created directly. Most boys would not like this kind of personality, but the problem is that some girls like that kind of naughty little boy. Just eat this set. Does Sasuke next door know? That's the unsmiling cool guy route, so it's very popular. Fourth generation took the identity of Naruto as another ruffian style. The originally sharp and evil eyes have also become a bit of a naughty ruffian. Coupled with Naruto, he is not ugly, and even has a little handsome facial features. Naturally, it attracted the attention of a small group of girls in the class. People are different, and not everyone can be generalized. Especially the girl from Waichun. It just makes them want to stop. They have never experienced the Nine Tails Rebellion, let alone war. Don't say that Naruto is the incarnation of the demon fox, even if he is the demon fox itself. As long as he is handsome, cool and rascal, people will like him. As expected of this era of looking at faces, the three views follow the five senses. In fact, Naruto wants to say to fourth generation that he doesn't care what others think of him. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. He doesn't like this world, everything in this world is too heavy. As he and Nagato said, the world is sick. But he neither wants nor has the interest to be the son of prophecy. So he also picked Nagato. He just wants to do what he wants to do, challenge the strong, and keep getting stronger. If possible, he even hopes to fight against powerful enemies side by side with the Z fighters. If you haven't become a martial artist, you will never know the thrill of challenging your own limits and breaking through. The feeling of oneness of body and soul is really fascinating. The stronger you are, the more you feel small. So, Ino. Imitating the image of the fourth generation in his memory, Naruto walked up to Ino with a smirk on his face, then propped one hand on the wall, leaned into her ear and whispered, "I secretly tell you a little story about Sasuke." Secret. What? Hearing that it was Sasuke, Ino immediately became interested without being shy. I'm only telling you one person. Actually, Sasuke likes girls with clip sounds. Ino. Naruto narrowed his eyes and smiled like a fox. As the incarnation of the demon fox, it's reasonable to confuse people with evil words. The whole ninja school seemed to be caught in a strange atmosphere, a strange way of speaking swept the entire campus, and almost every little ninja was imitating this tone. Even the teachers of the ninja school are sometimes led astray in class. Assist, Jun. Zo, Suk, Jun, look at me. Sa, assist, Jun, morning. Uchiha Sasuke was the one who suffered the most. I don't know when it started. Whenever the girls in the class saw him, they would greet him with a strange tone. Thinking about it carefully, it seems that it was a blonde girl at the beginning. I was taken aback and then responded with a conditioned reflex. Since then, it has been out of control. To tell you the truth, That squeaky voice made Sasuke's goosebumps drop all over the place. The key is that it's fine if it sounds good, sometimes some boys are mixed in, can you imagine? A little boy in the voice-changing period. Whispering and whimpering clip sound. He can't scold, and can't beat and beat. If it wasn't for maintaining the image of the Uchiha clan, he would definitely give the other party a punch. If it was Naruto, he should be honest with a punch at the beginning, and he should feel much more comfortable watching them cry. I bought a small windmill, haha. The voice rang in Sasuke's ears, and the hot air in his ears made Sasuke's whole body tremble, and a numbness went from his toes to Tongtian's spirit cap. Then a familiar yellow hair came into view. Uzumaki Naruto, you deserve a beating, don't you? Sasuke pointed at Naruto and yelled angrily. Fortunately, there are no other people around, otherwise my image will be ruined. Come on, let's fight. Naruto's eyes lit up, and he rolled up his sleeves excitedly. Let me see if you are Pikachu's brother who is itching. Hey, the rain stopped and the sky cleared up. Zuzi thinks he's doing well again. Naruto is worried about beating Sasuke for no good reason. Looking at Naruto's tendons that are very obvious even if he doesn't use force, Sasuke's eyes turned red instantly, and a black hook ball twirled wildly in his eye sockets, only to hear him say firmly. Not coming. Naruto looked at Sasuke with disdain. He too. Only in front of a few people such as Sasuke, Naruto will show a little boyish attitude. Konoha can count on one hand. 2 pillars. Naruto, who was guiding Sasuke's practice, suddenly said. Practice is like sailing against the current, if you don't advance, you will retreat. Naruto, who is Sasuke's half-brother, always urges him to practice and become stronger. From time to time, I took the time to beat him up on the grounds of checking the progress of the training. Don't call me by that name. Sasuke wiped the sweat off his brow and said with a frown. However, Naruto ignored him at all, and continued on his own. Zuzi, Neji and Shaoli are graduating today. 2 pillars, you. Naruto lowered his voice. Want to graduate early? Want to graduate early? If this question was put in the time when the genocide was just exterminated, Sasuke would definitely answer yes. During that time, he wanted to seek revenge on that man, all the time, and wanted to kill him even if he was helping Commander in his dream. Naruto has seen Sasuke calling his parents in his sleep countless times. Naruto also mentioned to the Fugaku couple whether they need to tell Sasuke the truth, whether they need to take him over and reunite. The answer was that Fugaku said in a serious way, people have to go through a lot of hardships to become useful. Frustrations and tribulations are the sharpening stones for training will and enhancing abilities. As a child of the Uchiha family, especially a boy of the Uchiha family, what he has to endure there must be more. But even though Fugaku said so, Naruto felt that it was because the two couples were focusing on Karen. According to unreliable information from an unknown person, the Fugaku couple actually wanted a girl for their second child, and they also decided that the second child was a girl. For this reason, they almost made a baby kiss with the 4th-generation couple. Who knew that what is giving, was born? Son. What son? You know what a fart, how can a son smell like a daughter? Graduate early. Sasuke was slightly taken aback when he heard Naruto's words. Then he shook his head. It's not necessary. Hearing this, Naruto jumped off the branch, leaned against the trunk and chose a comfortable position, and said, thinking about it. Okay. Sasuke wanted to become strong enough to kill that man. This is Sasuke's belief and also Sasuke's motivation. In fact, graduation has nothing to do with becoming stronger. Sasuke once believed that if he graduated early, 1 year of Chunin, 1 year of Jonin, as long as he surpassed the record of that person, then he would be stronger than that person. The term Jonin was once Sasuke's target. After all, that person has the impressive achievements of graduating at the age of 7, Chunin at the age of 10, and captain of the Anbu branch at the age of 13. According to the trajectory of a normal ninja, becoming a Chunin as soon as possible and becoming a Jonin as soon as possible is indeed a way to become stronger. But this is normal ninja trajectory. What is Sasuke practicing now? Guixian stream. Although I can't practice that kind of thing called chi, the speed of growth is amazing. He can deeply appreciate the continuous growth of strength, the feeling of strengthening every few days. Instead of graduating early and being tired of ninja tasks, it is better to calm down and practice hard. Even after graduation, it will only change from self-cultivation to following Jonin's guidance. Although Sasuke doesn't know how strong Naruto is, he can be sure that Naruto is definitely much stronger than Jonin. At least, that man is definitely not as fast as Naruto. Let's go find Lee and Neji, Naruto said as he walked over and pulled up Sasuke, who was exhausted after the practice. It's almost time for them to take the placement test. Is there still a test required for graduation placement? Naruto: of course, otherwise you think the 3-body technique exam at ninja school is the end. No one really thinks so, right? Sasuke: Uzumaki Naruto, what the? With the abilities of Lee and Neji, we can definitely pass. Naruto patted Sasuke's shoulder. Let's go, Ichiraku Ramen, your treat. At the same time, Konoha number 44 training ground. Neji and Xiao Li teamed up to fight with Guy, and the three of them came and went and staged fist-to-flesh battles to their heart's content. Baozido's Tiantian watched with astonishment on his two teammates and Jonin's instructor. She couldn't intervene in the battle between the three of them at all, and the unimaginable speed alone was so fast that she couldn't see clearly at all. Are your teammates so strong? Single quote. Is it possible to lie down after that? Single quote. What is that? Single quote. So familiar. Picked up a bunch of bells from the ground every day, stared at them for a long time, and suddenly thought of something. Wait. Didn't Mr. Guy say that you can just grab the bells? Single quote. Apparently, the three of them having a good fight had forgotten their original purpose. This is youth, country of vortex. The sea breeze blows gently, wrinkling the light on the sea level. The waves beat against the shore, beating in layers, rising and falling from time to time. On the golden beach, blue waves surged and people crowded together, one by one, looking around. There were red and white ping-pong patterns printed behind those figures. Uchiha, Master Fugaku is here. With the exclamation of the crowd, the originally sparse crowd began to become very orderly. Fugaku walked slowly to the wooden ladder built on the beach, followed by several Uchiha ninjas. I don't know who can pass this test. Only those who pass the test can leave the country of Vortex. This rule was set by Naruto and approved by the whole Uchiha family. Master Izumi should be able to. After all, Mangekyo Sharingan has been activated. A Uchiha clansman said proudly, as if he was not Uchiha Izumi who activated Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo is Uchiha's strongest eyes, not even Lord Fugaku. No, I don't think Izumi-sama will win. Although Mangekyo is the strongest eye of the Uchiha clan, it cannot be used frequently, otherwise the eyesight will be severely reduced. Izumi-sama will not use the power of Mangekyo just to test such a trivial matter. A member of the Uchiha tribe said in a serious manner, and listed the shortcomings of Mangekyo Sharingan one by one, as if he could win against Mangekyo. Anyway, they are not allowed to fight, so what's wrong with saying a few words? Now a Uchiha knows that Mangekyo cannot be commonly used. Fugaku reveals Mangekyo's secrets within the clan. After all, it doesn't do Uchiha any harm. Daohuo is the youngest Sangoyu. A Uchiha took a different approach and chose to support other strong members of the Uchiha clan. He said convincingly, Daohuo once blocked that lunatic. Although he was unsuccessful, it also shows his strength. The madman was referring to only one person. Nonsense, obviously Tiehuo is the youngest Sangoyu. I think it's Yatsushiro-sama. Yatsushiro-sama is the same generation as Fugaku-sama. The older Uchiha is more optimistic about the people of Fugaku's contemporaries. Yatsushiro-sama is the resourceful general of the Uchiha clan. That's not necessarily the case. I heard that it was Uzumaki-sama who presided over this test. As soon as the Uchiha finished speaking, the audience fell silent. I hope Master Uzumaki won't give too difficult questions. The young Uchiha covered his eyes, as if recalling the situation of the last test. It won't be the same as last time, no one can pass. The Uchihas looked at each other. Uzumaki-sama is really too strong. If Master Whirlpool is hosting again, no one will be able to pass. The Uchihas cried out. The last test was tested by Naruto himself. As long as someone can receive Naruto's punch without falling down, it will be considered a pass. A total of 34 people participated in the test, but all Uchiha members, including Quan, were punched KO. The appearance of Uchiha Itachi and Obito made Uchiha realize the gap between Sharingan and Sharingan, and the appearance of Naruto made Uchiha realize that the gap between humans is sometimes even greater than the gap between humans and pigs. In the bitter eyes of all Uchiha, Fugaku announced that this test is still hosted by Naruto. All the Uchiha present covered their eyes together. It's over, no one can pass this time. Not much nonsense, the rules this time are also very simple. If you can persist for 30 minutes under the attack of my summoning beast, you will pass the level. Conciseness is Naruto's style. It's boring to talk too much. Naruto likes to get straight to the point. With Naruto's announcement, the Uchihas in the audience exploded. Did you hear that? It wasn't Uzumaki-sama who ended up in person. Just the summoning beast. You only have to hold on for 30 minutes, the chance is still great. Then Quan, Daohuo and the others should be fine. I knew I would sign up too. This test is surprisingly easy. Naruto used the summoning technique amidst the discussions among the Uchihas. Along with huge white smoke, the Six Paths fitness machine. No, the bliss box was summoned out. Easy, so give it a try and see what it can be, the ultimate weapon in the Sage of Six Paths. Single quote. Naruto placed his hand on the bliss box and began to deliver chakra. Summoning Satoru requires chakra, even Naruto. During Naruto's groping, I also gradually learned about the functions of the bliss box. The bliss box will summon different enlightenments according to the concentration of chakra. These comprehensions are roughly divided into 1 to 3 levels, the strongest being level 3, and the lowest being level 1. Intelligence level and strength will also be enhanced according to level. Level 3 Wu can speak human words, can imitate any creature, and has a very high level of intelligence. The strength of level 1 is the weakest, the intelligence level is only slightly stronger than that of irrational monsters, the strength and resilience are the worst, and the risk factor is the smallest. Level 2 Enlightenment is much bigger and possesses a certain amount of intelligence, but its mind-reading ability is a bit weak, and it can only read people who are afraid of him. If the other party has no fear in his heart, he cannot use mind-reading skills. Level 3 Enlightenment is the legendary monster capable of destroying the world, with top-notch resilience, intelligence, and mind-reading. By the way, the Satoru who usually practiced with Naruto is level 3, the one who inherited Wagu's memory. In the original book, level 3 Wooly battles Killer Bee, Naruto, and Wu-Wei. The few people who fought couldn't find Bei. In Sage mode, Naruto, who was fully fired, couldn't even hurt Wu-Wei. The play is too deep, and if you commit suicide and return to the bliss box, you will not be able to understand it at all with the strength of the protagonist group at that time. If it weren't for Dragon Tongue's Dragon Life Tensai technique, Naruto would have been killed. As expected of you, you are the one who dies every time in a theatrical version. Now Naruto is going to summon level 1 Satoru. Come out, Wu. The music surfaces on the 4 sides of the bliss box slowly opened. Roar. Accompanied by a burst of roaring, Wu, who was in the form of a monster with big teeth and no eyes, walked out slowly. What an evil chakra. Fugaku, who was the first to feel the power of realization, instantly opened Sharingan, and the 3-god jade twirled wildly in his eyes, staring at the box of bliss with a vigilant expression. At the same time, he glanced at Naruto from the corner of his eyes, and a trace of worry flashed in his eyes. Once this evil summoning beast can't be controlled, it will definitely attack its master. Satoru's chakra is even more ominous and confusing than Nine-Tails' chakra. The several Uchiha people who were tested by Quan behind them also had serious faces, and they opened the Sharingan one after another, tensed their bodies, and entered the fighting state. Don't underestimate Wu just because he only has level 1, even if it's only Wu's initial stage. This guy also has the strength of other tailed beasts except 8 Nine-Tails, and the threat coefficient of the ability to cooperate with mind reading is not small at all. Tier 3 is too strong for it to play. The Uchihas have no hope at all, including Izumi, unless she uses the power of Mangekyo Sharingan. Level 1 Enlightenment is just right. Shut up and be quiet. Naruto picked his ears, looking impatient. Sensing Naruto's dissatisfaction, Wu Wenyan, who was originally ferocious and baring his teeth and claws, shut up instantly, without making a sound, and pressed his 2 claws that could easily tear steel tightly on his mouth. She obviously has no eyes, but she acts aggrieved. Ugly, ugly, and ugly. This thing is pure ugliness and cuteness. The third level Satoru was rubbed against the ground by Naruto, let alone the first level Satoru. Subjugated by Naruto long ago, well, physically. Let me mention here that there is more than one Satoru in the Bliss Box, and the level 3 and level 1 are not the same one, but only one can be released at a time. As expected of Master Uzumaki, monsters of this level are obedient. All the Uchiha present said with admiration. Shang Rin, who was sitting with Makoto and others in the auditorium, raised her head proudly, like a fighting hen. This is my big brother's cousin, summoning beast. Powerful summoning beasts can increase the strength of ninjas sideways. If they are connected with summoning beasts, they can exert great combat power, such as Jiraiya and Toad Bunta, 3rd generation and Ape Demon, Hanzo and Salamander, 4th generation and Toad Bunta, both with the cooperation, the power of 1 plus 1 greater than 2 can be exerted. In cooperation with 4th generation, Wentai even sat on 9 tails. The powerful summoning beasts are often rebellious and extremely difficult to tame, and some summoning beasts will even attack the summoning. Such as 10,000 snakes and Orochimaru. Naruto can make such an evil and powerful summoning beast obedient with just one sentence, which made the Uchiha present not admire, but also admired even more. Worshipping the strong is a tradition in the ninja world, even Uchiha whose eyes are above the top is no exception, especially now that Uchiha has almost been smoothed by reality. Sir, the test has officially started. Naruto sat on the stand and looked around. Who is the first challenger? I'm coming. As soon as the words fell, Quan stood up. After that night, Quan lost a lot, including his family, friends, clan and even his lover. Seeing Itachi kill the young clansman with her own eyes, all the happiness in her heart disappeared at that moment. Since then, the spring of kindness and gentleness has disappeared, replaced by a spring that devotes all its energy to practice. The hatred in her heart has been pushing her forward, forward and forward. Uchiha is a family of love. This love will give them strength, and when Uchiha loses great love, it will open the eye of spiritual portrayal, Sharingan. Because of her love for Itachi, she opened the Sangoyu, and because of her hatred for Itachi, she opened Mangekyo. She yearns for power, and desires to kill Itachi herself. So she keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger again. Now is the time to test her strength. Staring at Satoru, Uchiha Izumi slowly pulled out the short sword from his waist. Quan is very strong. Whether it is knife skills, body skills, or ninjutsu, he has made great progress during this period. Unlocking Sangoyu and even Mangekyo at the age of 13, this talent is not weak. In the entire Uchiha clan, there is no one more talented than her except Sasuke. It's a pity that she is strong but not strong enough. Satoru is stronger than her without Mangekyo on. With the ability to read minds, Quan's ninjutsu can't beat Satoru at all. Without eyes, Sangoyu's illusion has absolutely no effect on it. Taijutsu. Not everyone is like Naruto, not everyone is Naruto. Competing with Wu in physical skills belongs to the old birthday star who eats arsenic and lives impatiently. All of Quan's short swords were broken, and Wu still didn't have a single thing, not to mention injured, and even the skin was not broken. Izumi only persisted for 20 minutes of the 30 minutes set by Naruto before failing. Wu held her head with one hand and pressed it to the ground. No matter how she struggled, Wu didn't respond at all, and finally had no choice but to admit defeat. Izumi failed, let alone the other Uchiha. As the leader of the younger generation, Daohuo persisted for 19 minutes, Iron Fire for 15 minutes, and 8 generations lasted for up to 25 minutes. The rest of the Uchihas participated in different times, ranging from a few minutes to more than 10 minutes. In short, the whole army was wiped out. Too weak, you let me down. Naruto reprimanded mercilessly. With this kind of strength released, at best it can rival the 7 ninja swordsmen, and it may still be the middle and lower reaches. This kind of strength can't be called weak, but it can't be called strong either. There are too many people in the ninja world who can easily kill them. Once they are killed, the Sharingan will be exposed. Over the years, White Zetsu has been searching for traces of the Uchiha people on the map. If Naruto had no stronger perception, Uchiha would have been exposed long ago. In Naruto's view, Not being able to match the power of the tailed beast is equivalent to having no self-protection ability, and Naruto will not let Uchiha out of the country of Vortex without self-protection ability. Facing Naruto's reprimand, all the Uchiha present lowered their heads unconsciously. I really didn't want to be slapped in the face. At the beginning, I was full of confidence, thinking that it would not be a problem for summoning to hold on for 30 minutes, but none of them were able to complete it. It's really embarrassing. Starting today, except for those over 50 and under 10 years old, all Uchiha will officially receive my special training. Every Uchiha ninja must endure at least 40 minutes under the attack of Satoru. Let Uchiha practice on his own. It will be like that in the finale of Hokage, but he will be wiped out when he encounters the Immortals in the later stage, and he will officially take over the training from now on. He wants to create the most elite ninja force directly under him. Uchiha's talent cannot be wasted like this. Of course, if there are other members of the Uzumaki clan, he still wants to train an army composed entirely of the Uzumaki clan. Such a yin and yang can be called invincible. It's a pity that the vortex is extinct. If you can't reach your goal, keep training until you reach your goal. Naruto's purpose is to practice as long as you can't die. It's a small thing to get injured. Recently, he is practicing Yang-dun chakra nature transformation, which is very good at healing. Minor injuries and illnesses are not a problem at all. If you break your hand, you can pick up 2 of them. That's my minimum requirement. Clear, Naruto wants to train them himself, which surprises and delights the Uchihas. They have seen Naruto's devil training on Shongrin. It was just an 11-year-old girl who had more training than their adults. But the result of the devil training is really strong. Now Shonglin is chasing Uchiha of the same age, and it is no problem to hit 10 of them. Even Uchiha, who is 15 or 16 years old, dare not fight her. If she punches her, she will be killed overnight. Spit it out. Clear. No, not at all. Such a small voice wants to revive Uchiha. Say it again, start over. Clear. The sound of chi shushu resounded through the sky. Okay, very energetic. At dawn, before dawn, most of the Konoha people were still asleep, and the entire Konoha village was covered in mist. Naruto is so conspicuous in white clothes. He bought this new clothes from the cat mother-in-law. The red edge and white bottom style are similar to the royal god robe. Yes, that's right, the one on the 4th generation. Almost every day, Naruto gets up so early. Practice starts before dawn and continues until people get up. In this place where there are no games, no nightlife, and no entertainment, almost everyone keeps their malice to themselves. What Naruto can do every day is to keep practicing and practicing. There is only cultivation, and there is only cultivation. This is how Naruto got through the hardest time. Selfless cultivation, obsessed with cultivation, challenging one's limits all the time, almost integrating practice into life. Practice can be addictive. Naruto is addicted to practice. Just like Kakarot is a teacher or Monkey King. By the time Naruto woke up, he was already so strong. It can be said that Naruto's current strength is half of the credit for the people of Konoha village. Although he won't thank you for it. It was just dawn, and the sky was slightly white, and the clouds gathered in the sky like they were going to a market, showing a faint red color as if soaked in blood. There is a slight fragrance in the air, and the night rain has washed away all the dust and dirt, and even the fragrance of the heather flower is also exuded in the wetness, and with the wind, it floats into every pore of breathing. People can't help but roll their eyes. Naruto walks unhurriedly through the busiest street in Konoha, passing every passerby who goes out early in the morning. Am I dazzled? Not long after Naruto left, an uncle who got up early to set up a stall rubbed his eyes. The one just now was Master 4th generation. There are many others who have the same illusion as this uncle. As time goes by, Naruto looks more and more like the 4th generation, coupled with the appearance of being so close to the 4th generation, it is not an exaggeration to say that he is a miniature 4th generation. There is no guarantee that no villagers will admit their mistakes. No, that's not Master 4th generation. Another villager shook his head in denial, and said with a gloomy expression, it's that, the name that Konoha cannot say. They are tacit to each other, but they don't say anything, it's a recognized secret. Is that imitating the 4th generation? Another villager asked. Do you think Naruto looks the same as the fourth generation and dresses the same as the fourth generation, and the villagers will change their views on Naruto just because they think of the fourth generation? No, it's not possible. Not only not, but the villagers hated Naruto even more. The reason is because he is so much like the fourth generation. It's not that no villagers have doubted the relationship between Naruto and the fourth generation, but such doubts are not mainstream, and even if they happen occasionally, they will soon disappear. That demon fox can't be from the fourth generation. It can't be from the fourth generation either. If that's true, doesn't that prove they were wrong before? So the villagers are more willing to believe another theory. It is rumored that the Nine-Tails demon fox has an evil ability to become the person he kills. Once you feel compassion for him, you will be the next one to be eaten. This kind of story is anecdotal, absurd, bizarre and illogical, but it is the mainstream among the villagers, and it is even widely circulated among ordinary ninjas. The big families who knew the truth kept silent. So the more Naruto resembles the fourth generation, the more the villagers hate Naruto. Hey, if Naruto has any negative system, it's maxed out at this moment. Naruto didn't care about these things, and still went his own way. Feeling the evil of the surrounding villagers, Naruto not only does not feel wronged, but even finds it ridiculous. If you don't like me, you have to bear it. Single quote. If anyone dares to do it, he can go to the root and explain it. Single quote. I'm not the same Uzumaki Naruto who was bullied. Single quote. Naruto stopped in front of a quaint door, stood silently at the door and waited for the door to open. 3, 2, 1. Accompanied by the sound of squeak, the white-eyed girl with a small cut came out timidly. Good morning, Hinata-chan. Naruto greeted with a smile on his face. The smile was so bright that the girl on the other side was fascinated. Hinata looked at it for a while before realizing it. She immediately lowered her head with a blushing face, and kept playing with her fingers. Good morning, Naruto-kun. Let's go to the ninja school. Naruto took Hinata's little hand and ran towards the ninja school. Naruto-kun holding hands. Hinata only felt his face flushed, his attention was all on his hands, and he felt dizzy as the blood was flowing backwards, and he even forgot to breathe. And the moment Naruto touched Hinata's soft little hand, his face changed slightly. In an extremely cryptic way, he glanced at Hinata's delicate face, which had a very slight scar on it. Training at Hyuga's house, he couldn't bear to hurt his sister, so he was defeated in a duel with his sister Hanabi, who was 5 years younger than him. Deprived of the right of inheritance of the head of the family. Isn't he the heir of the Hyuga family? That's not bad either. Hinata-chan, from today on, you don't need to secretly watch me practice anymore. Cultivate with me, and I will teach you by hand. Hinata was slightly taken aback, looking at Naruto's extremely convincing smile to her. She even forgot to be shy at this moment, and nodded vigorously, yeah. Then, under Naruto's amazed gaze, Hinata fainted from being too shy. Mr. Naruto said, you want to practice with me. In the class, a group of girls chatted non-stop as usual. The topics of discussion are nothing more than handsome, cool, Sasuke and the like, and occasionally Naruto is discussed, but most of them are bad and bad. Putting the fainted Hinata on the seat gently, Naruto said to Sasuke, who was sitting in the row behind him, Sasuke, you are really welcome. Tisk, it's really troublesome. It's better to use this time to practice. I haven't fully mastered the fire style ninjutsu you taught me. Sasuke muttered dissatisfiedly, and then said to Naruto with a little surprise, it's really rare, today it will be the main body to teach. Sasuke already knew about Naruto using Shadow Clone to hang up. His Shadow Clone technique is not as good as Naruto. If he uses it frequently, he will be discovered by the teacher. So Sasuke is generally used every few days. Enjoy your last year of study. After a year, I'm afraid I will never experience it again. Naruto said something else, the meaning of which may only be understood by Sasuke, and finally added in a voice that only the two of them could hear. I'm right, the beautiful boy at the crossroads. Naruto, Xianglin, Sasuke, Neji, and Xiaoli all have corresponding code names. Naruto is Uzumaki, Karen is Tomi, and Sasuke is the pretty boy at the crossroads. I told you, don't call me by that name. Sasuke's face was flushed, and the classroom was full of joy. The roots, as always, are buried deep in the ground. It's just that the roots are a little more popular than before. With the support of third generation, Danzo quickly recruited a group of ninjas and started cultivating his roots again. Danzo's attention is also put on rebuilding the root. After all, the root is of great significance to Danzo, and it is also the foundation of his life. However, Danzo did not give up on Naruto, and still taught Naruto from time to time. Konoha's taijutsu is divided into two types, rigid and soft. Gentle Fist is famous for the Hyuga clan, and Gangquan is represented by Might Guy. As for the sword technique, the dance of the crescent moon that Naruto used before belongs to another system. Naruto is worthy of the sentence for third generation, he has a good physical talent. It is more than good, whether it is soft, rigid or knife, it only takes a very short time to get started. Danzo was soon hollowed out by Naruto. Except for 8 inner gates, which only Might Guy knows, Konoha Ryu's taijutsu was learned by Naruto. With a leaf great whirlwind, Naruto, barely, defeated the 2 roots. Danzo walked out slowly clapping his hands, and said appreciatively, "Not bad, with Naruto's current physical skills, no one can compare with the entire Konoha. Physical arts, gymnastics, what's the use of learning that kind of thing?" Single quote. No matter how strong your physical skills are, you can't block a ninjutsu with your body. How good is such an excellent talent in ninjutsu? It would be great to inherit my old man's wind style. Single quote. Obviously wind style is the strongest ninjutsu. Single quote. As a Jinchuriki, I can't even use the chakra of the tailed beast, what a waste. Single quote. The old man really misjudged you. Single quote. Danzo cursed wildly in his heart, and forced a kind smile on his face. Danzo is considering whether he needs to change his strategy or give up Naruto. After all, what's the point of Jinchuriki who can't use the tailed beast chakra, who only knows physical skills? Isn't that a whiteboard ninja? Just having the identity of Jinchuriki without the power of Jinchuriki will not help him Danzo become Hokage. The idea of simply controlling Naruto directly in his heart gained the upper hand again. Yes, Danzo is that realistic. Anything can be given away as long as it makes him a Hokage. Uncle Danzo, Naruto's call brought Danzo back to reality. What's the matter? Danzo said angrily, with a hint of impatience in his voice. Then he saw a bright red chakra. What is this? Naruto's palm was covered with a layer of red chakra, which exuded a hint of ominousness, that is. The power of 9 tails. Single quote. Naruto. Danzo's complexion changed slightly, his voice was distorted due to overexcitement, like a duck whose throat was pinched, he showed a smirk that was uglier than crying, and his attitude changed 180 degrees. The speed of turning faces is faster than turning the pages of books. It's you, Danzo. Danzo looked obsessively at the pinch of 9 tails chakra in Naruto's hand, and while telling Naruto how to use this power, he told Naruto tirelessly. Don't tell the ape about your 3rd generation grandpa. Danzo's heart suddenly ignited hope. Wait for Naruto to fully grasp the power of 9 tails, then. Sarutobi, the old man said that you will regret it. Single quote. Look at how you and the old man are still fighting. Single quote. The more Danzo thought about it, the more excited he became, as if seeing the scene where he put on the bucket hat that belonged to Hokage, and then said loudly to 3rd generation, I am Hokage. He couldn't help standing up and waving his hands vigorously in the end. Then my knee hurt and I sat back down. While rubbing his legs, Danzo took out a piece of ointment and stuck it on. The old man's rheumatism has happened again. Single quote. The plan to establish a base on the surface was rejected again. Single quote. Sarutobi, it's you who want to harm me, let's wait and see. Single quote. While Danzo was complaining in his heart, Naruto who was standing behind him winked at a root ninja, and then the root ninja nodded at Naruto and slipped a small scroll to Naruto. The other root ninjas, no matter what, whether it's a newcomer or a former one, it's like you haven't seen it, and you continue to do the original thing. After a while, under Danzo's repeated urging, Naruto left the root. After finding a place, Naruto opened the scroll after confirming that there was no one around. The scroll was only 18 centimeters wide, and there were many things densely recorded on it, basically what Danzo had done recently, as well as the conversation records with 3rd generation. Naruto directly skipped these unnutritious contents, scrolled to the bottom of the scroll, and found the information he needed. There is a name recorded on it, Mizuki. It turns out that he hasn't been abandoned at this time. Naruto was a little surprised when he saw the name on it. In the original plot, this guy induced Naruto, who failed the ninja school exam, to steal the Book of Seals a year later. Naruto's multiple shadow clone technique into a pig's head. The overall strength is mediocre, and the original plot was also turned into a half-human half-tiger shaped by Orochimaru's curse seal. Even if the curse seal is used, the strength is still mediocre. After finding the information he wanted to obtain, the scroll in his hand was covered by light waves, and in the end there was no residue left. That's right, Naruto is looking for Orochimaru. In addition to Mizuki, Naruto knows that Konoha can contact Orochimaru is actually Yakushi Kabuto, but the identity of Yakushi Kabuto's multiple agents is too complicated, and it is easy to cause a backlash. At night, Mizuki returned home with a tired body after a day of teaching. As a man with great ambitions, he didn't like his current job. It's too boring to teach children or something. Due to his limited ability, Mizuki couldn't be promoted to become a special jonin, so he could only do this kind of low-level job without high level. It belongs to the ambition enough, without the strength to match it. That is, you can't see yourself clearly. No wonder Orochimaru made it a sacrifice. Who is it? Mizuki realized when he was about to take off his clothes and take a hot bath. At some point, there was a figure beside the window sill. When did you come? Single quote. Mizuki looked at the figure and quietly took out kunai. I stood here without moving at all, it's because you are too vigilant. Single quote. Mizuki, I need you to contact Orochimaru. Naruto didn't beat around the bush, and got straight to the point. Under the moonlight, the root mask on Naruto's face reflected the icy moonlight, making Mizuki shiver involuntarily. I've always been hiding very well, when did I expose it? Single quote. Naruto rolled his eyes under the mask, it was exposed from the beginning. Root ninjas have known this from the day you surrendered to Orochimaru. Single quote. Roots, Anbu's collection of information on Konoha shinobi followers is quite complete. Tell Orochimaru that this is an order from Lord Danzo. What is Danzo looking for me at this time? After receiving the news from Mizuki, Orochimaru kept speculating on Danzo's intentions. Before that, Orochimaru joined an organization, a powerful organization, whose members are all composed of S-rank renegade. Even Uchiha Itachi, who has the reputation of killing the whole family, is one of the members. 2 years ago, Orochimaru attacked Uchiha Itachi for spying on the power of Mangekyo Sharingan, but was killed instead. Not only was he completely abused by the opponent in terms of illusion, but he was also cut off an arm. Losing an arm is equivalent to cutting off most of the combat power of a ninjutsu ninja. Orochimaru, full of grief and indignation, had to give up his original body and use the reincarnation of forbidden technique living corpse reincarnation to other people. And the severed hand was collected by Orochimaru as a warning, and at the same time, he was more eager to gain the power of Sharingan. Don't think that Orochimaru's illusion is not good because Orochimaru is completely abused by Itachi in illusion. In fact, Orochimaru's illusion is not only bad, but illusion is one of his quite proud abilities. Orochimaru can make people fall into hallucinations just by his aura and killing intent. Sasuke during the Chunin exam, and Hanyomaru who turned around after the Chunin exam once fell into this illusion. In the Book of the Zerg, Formula Book, the value of Orochimaru is Endurance, 10, Body, 7, Magic, 10, Virtue, 10, Strength, 7, Speed, 9, Essence, 7, Seal, 10, Total, 70. Strength and body as a whole means that Orochimaru is actually not good at physical arts. For this reason, he specially developed a software modification technique for physical damage. The value of 7 means that even the lowest value is far beyond ordinary people. Phantom 10 means that Orochimaru's phantom ability is the top in the ninja world, and 10 is the highest value. When you have reached the pinnacle of a certain ability and stand at the top of the world, but you are defeated in the most common way seemingly at will, who cannot peep at this power? Who cannot be moved? Although Itachi's brain circuit is different from ordinary people, his illusion is really strong. Other people's illusion is 10 because the illusion has reached 10, and Itachi's illusion is 10 because the illusion is only 10. Sharingan, why didn't you discover this power sooner? Single quote. In several ninja wars, Orochimaru had the Uchiha clan more than once. At that time, he was very conceited and felt that Sharingan was as nothing special as a white eye. He didn't face up to this power until he was defeated by Itachi. Unfortunately, it was too late, Uchiha was wiped out. Not long ago, Orochimaru broke away from that organization. According to Orochimaru, it was a disagreement of ideas. Now that organization is searching for him all over the world. It happened to be this time. Since the defection, Danzo and Orochimaru have kept in touch, but not frequently. Orochimaru's pair of golden snake eyes are rolling, constantly speculating and thinking about Danzo's intentions. It seems that Danzo knows something. Single quote. You want to ask Akatsuki for information from me. Or warn me not to make small moves. Single quote. Akatsuki Organization, the name of the organization that Orochimaru joined. Pain Nagato, whom Naruto previously spoke to under the codename Uzumaki, is the leader of the organization. No matter what the purpose is, you will know it as soon as you see him. Single quote. Naruto soon received a reply from Mizuki. 3 days later, at night, at the edge of leaves. At night, the round moon hangs on the branches, and the soft moonlight shines on the earth. Under the moon, Naruto, who was wearing root clothing, arrived with 2 root members as promised. I really don't know if it's a coincidence or what, every time I act at night, it's the night of the full moon. The moonlight is so beautiful, if only I could watch the moon with Hinata. The family education of the Hyuga family is very strict, and they are not allowed to go out casually in the middle of the night, even though Hinata has been deprived of the position of heir to the patriarch. An open space on the border of Konoha village, Orochimaru and his men arrived early. Naruto recognized him at a glance. Orochimaru in a white kimono was very eye-catching in the dark night. As an S-rank rebellious ninja, Orochimaru-sama doesn't even pretend to be in Konoha. Aren't you afraid of being discovered by Lord Third Generation? For Orochimaru, who lived in Konoha since he was a child, Konoha's enchantment is no different from a sieve in front of Orochimaru. As long as he wants, he can come and go freely in the whole Konoha village. Let alone the Konoha border, even running to Hokage Rock is not a problem. Whether you can go back and talk about it in its entirety afterwards. You guys are late. In the face of Naruto's provocative remarks, Orochimaru just waved his hand to reassure his subordinates, and then said in his distinctive husky voice that was magnetic. Where's Danzo? Let him come and see me. Do root ninjas usually talk so much? Master Danzo has more important matters to deal with, and I will be responsible for contacting you from now on. A killing intent flashed in Orochimaru's eyes. Who is he? One of the legendary Sannin, Konoha's S-class rebellious ninja, the leader of Yinin village, Langjun Orochimaru. Even though I have been doing things at the root for a while, I have always been in direct contact with Danzo. When is it someone else's turn? Only by you. Orochimaru's voice turned cold instantly, and the surrounding temperature also dropped sharply, and the terrifying murderous aura instantly permeated the entire forest. Orochimaru's strength is not comparable to that of the third-rate characters in Kusanagi village. Even Wuwei, the strongest in the country of grass, has a huge gap compared to Orochimaru. His momentum alone is bigger than that of a village. What does that Danzo guy mean? If you are disrespectful to Master Danzo, I can't sit idly by, even you. Even Orochimaru's men trembled under his murderous intent that was not aimed at them, but Naruto seemed to have nothing when facing the murderous intent feel average. Instead, it warns. I hope there will be no next time. The other thing is to give Lord Orochimaru a suggestion. It is better for Konoha to be restrained here. If he releases his murderous aura so recklessly, it will be very bad to attract Anbu. After all, Anbu directly belongs to Lord Third Generation, so it is quite difficult to deal with. It's interesting. Seeing that Naruto was completely unaffected by his murderous aura, Orochimaru put away his murderous aura and looked at Naruto with great interest. Danzo got this guy from nowhere. It seems that he is the key training object of the root. Single quote. Just like the old Aburame Ryoma. I'm really envious of Konoha, there are so many outstanding talents. I searched all over the 5 major countries and only collected a few good seedlings. Single quote. Barely count you pass. The killing intent just now was just Orochimaru's temptation. The purpose was to test Naruto's strength, and see if he could find any clues to judge Danzo's intentions. If Naruto shows cowardice here, even the rude Orochimaru will be killed in one go, and in the future when facing Danzo's questioning, just say that they were rude to him. Not everyone is qualified to speak on an equal footing with Orochimaru. Tell me what Danzo wants to do. The atmosphere relaxed slightly, a pair of golden snake eyes stared at Naruto. What I'm going to say next is what Lord Danzo means. Chapter 71. Danzo wants my research results. Hearing Naruto's request, Orochimaru's face was as usual, but it became much more gloomy. How did Danzo know that my research at Impure World Reincarnation had a new breakthrough? Single quote. That's right, what Naruto said to Orochimaru was, Master Danzo knows about your breakthrough in Impure World Reincarnation, and he needs the latest research data. So it's because of my research results. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth, and then said firmly. But it's impossible. Are you kidding me? This is Impure World Reincarnation, one of Orochimaru's cards. Danzo wants it. Why? Really? Naruto didn't care about Orochimaru's refusal. He knew that Orochimaru didn't really refuse, but that he didn't have enough chips. So he took out a glass bottle from his pocket and waved it in front of Orochimaru. Even if you use this thing as an exchange, can't you? Full of temptation, he said to Orochimaru, Master Danzo has specifically explained that you are very eager to get this thing. After Orochimaru saw the contents of the bottle clearly, his breathing became a little heavier and his pupils shrank sharply. Because of Orochimaru's self-cultivation, he almost couldn't help but grab it. The murderous intent emanating from Orochimaru made the two people at the base next to Naruto step forward slightly, blocking between Naruto and Orochimaru, looking ready to attack. A one-tomo Sharingan lay quietly in the bottle in Naruto's hand. That was what Orochimaru craved most at this moment. It was Naruto who let Yamanaka take it from Danzo's collection. General has no secrets from Naruto. Danzo's collection is equivalent to Naruto's collection. Naruto doesn't care about Sharingan, which is highly sought after by outsiders. Although according to normal logic, it is possible for Naruto to evolve into Rinnegan by pressing Sharingan. But now, as long as Naruto is willing, he can shoot lasers from Biubiu's eyes at any time, not to mention powerful and fast. So the meaning of Sharingan to Naruto is that it can be available, but it is not necessary. Don't be impatient, Lord Orochimaru, sooner or later this thing will be yours. Naruto put away the bottle containing Sharingan while talking. It wasn't until Sharingan disappeared from view that Orochimaru calmed down, and at the same time recognized the identities of the two roots. Yamanaka wind, Aburame take root. Danzo even arranged for his left and right hands. Sure enough, it's not an ordinary root. Single quote. Seeing these two people, Orochimaru was more convinced that Naruto was a subordinate carefully trained by Danzo, and his dissatisfaction with Danzo dissipated a little. Although Orochimaru did not guess wrong, Naruto was indeed carefully cultivated by Danzo, but the details of the side branches were a little crooked. Naruto's next words made Orochimaru's heart skip a beat. Master Danzo deeply regrets the matter with your arm. Orochimaru. Single quote. How did that Danzo guy know? Single quote. Could it be that there are roots in that organization? Or a ferret? Single quote. At this moment, dozens of thoughts flashed through Orochimaru's mind. He kept thinking, trying to restore the truth. It's just that the information is completely different, and there is too little information available. Even Orochimaru can't restore the truth even if he breaks his head. Naruto under the mask squinted his eyes and smiled like a fox again, as if he could see through Orochimaru's mind. He said with certainty, "That's right, Lord Orochimaru. It's exactly what you think." Orochimaru. Single quote. What did I think of? Ferret. Single quote. Then, without waiting for Orochimaru to ask, Naruto opened his arms, made a very exaggerated gesture, and said in a very respectful tone, "There are few things in this world that can be hidden from the all-knowing and omnipotent Danzo-sama." His tone and gestures were quite different from the image of a religious leader. Danzo fanatics. Orochimaru slapped that label on Naruto. It's no surprise that powerful ninjas tend to have a following, and Orochimaru has many fanatics of his own. It's just that the fanatics of Danzo are still at the root. It's quite strange. The omniscient Danzo. Hey, Naruto's next words nearly broke Orochimaru's defense. The arm you gave Lord Danzo, the Lord likes it very much. My lord, let me ask you, is that boy okay? Danzo's right hand was given to him by Orochimaru. Danzo implanted first-generation cells for strength. Unexpectedly, the phagocytosis of first-generation cells was too overbearing, so Danzo used an armful of Sharingan to suppress first-generation cells. The owner of this arm is an experimental subject under Orochimaru called Shin. This young man has an extremely special physique, and no rejection will occur when any tissue is transplanted on his body. This is one of Orochimaru's biggest secrets, not even Yakushi Kabuto, his right-hand man, but himself and Shin himself. Orochimaru's pupils shrank sharply, leaving only a black vertical line in the golden pupil. Even the letter once is a coincidence, then twice is not a coincidence. Multiple secrets have been exposed in succession, and Naruto's words are huge in information. Even if his psychological quality is as strong as Orochimaru's, he is a little confused. His brain is running at high speed, thinking, analyzing, calculating, and constantly recalling some previous details. Until a flash of inspiration flashed in his mind, he recalled a trivial detail when Danzo once met him. So it is. Orochimaru seems to have figured everything out. At this moment, the image of Danzo was instantly unpredictable in Orochimaru's heart. As expected of, I really underestimated Danzo in the past, because he hides so deeply. Actually, Master Danzo doesn't mind your small movements behind your back. If it weren't for this arm, I'm afraid the next thing would be much more difficult. Then he seemed to whisper to himself or to Orochimaru. The time is almost ripe. The timing, what timing? Single quote. Become a Hokage. Single quote. How could Orochimaru, who is a long-term partner, not know what Danzo desires, and becoming a Hokage is something he has always dreamed of. But, hidden so deep just for a Hokage position. It's a bit unreasonable. It's a pity that Naruto said that there is no continuation here. There are too many things to say and too many mistakes. It is the best choice to stop. If you don't explain, let Orochimaru guess. I believe that with his ability of 10, he will definitely guess a satisfactory answer. Is that right, Orochimaru? Single quote. After an hour, Naruto flicked the scroll in his hand, and left contentedly with the root and the wind, leaving Orochimaru standing alone in thought. As for why he was alone, because the subordinates who came with Orochimaru did not survive to see the sun the next day after all. Knowing too many secrets, they were killed by Orochimaru. Two thick pythons swallowed them bit by bit, and disappeared without a trace as the summoning smoke drifted away. What conclusions can Orochimaru draw? To be honest, Naruto was also curious. Nine Tails is the incarnation of the demon fox. It's reasonable to deceive people, right? In the following days, using Danzo's identity as a focus on cultivating objects, Naruto got a lot of things from Orochimaru. As expected of the master of forbidden technique, the existence standing at the pinnacle of ninjutsu. Even if others can learn something from Orochimaru, it will be useful for a lifetime. As long as they don't encounter ordinary ninjas who hang on the wall and beat them, there is no problem. Of course, I also paid some things that are not worth mentioning. Anyway, Sun Maishin doesn't feel bad. There are so many things stored in the root, and the Hashirama cells are so big. Days passed, and Naruto's practice team changed from himself at the beginning to Naruto, Neji, Xiao Li, and Sasuke, and after Xiao Li and Neji graduated, they became Naruto and Sasuke, and now they are Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. People. A few more people will usher in the graduation exam of ninja school in a week. That's when the dream is about to begin. It is worth mentioning that 3 months ago, finally, Uchiha was able to withstand the attack of level 1 foot enlightenment. Uchiha Izumi, Uchiha Rice Fire, Uchiha Iron Fire, Uchiha Yatsushiro, and Uchiha Fugaku. Yadai was sent by Naruto to Ghost Lantern City. Izumi and Tiehuo were sent by Naruto to Snow Country, a poor country located in the extreme north. Taohuo and 4th generation went to Ghost Country. As for Fugaku, Naruto had other arrangements, with more Uchihas will pass the test as time goes on. Let's go eat Ichiraku ramen today, Naruto suggested on the way home. It's been a long time since I ate there, I miss the taste of Ichiraku ramen. If you want to say what food Naruto likes the most in Konoha, it must be Ichiraku ramen. On the one hand, Ichiraku ramen is really delicious, on the other hand. It's been a long time since I went there, but in fact it's only been a week. Sasuke curled his lips and complained, expressing his dissatisfaction but not refuting. Although Ichiraku ramen is not so to Sasuke's taste, but Naruto likes to eat it. If I can't eat Ichiraku ramen, I'm the only one who can make it myself. Other than Ichiraku ramen, no other shop does Naruto's business. After Naruto finished speaking, the three fell silent. It's not that the food made by Naruto is not delicious, on the contrary, the food made by Naruto, who has lived alone since childhood, is very delicious. They are silent because no other shop will serve Naruto except Ichiraku ramen. In fact, Sasuke's treatment is not much better than Naruto's. Uchiha's previous reputation is not good, so don't offend too many people. It's just that Sasuke has a genocide aura and is very handsome, which will attract a lot of sympathy, and most people will not make things difficult for him. Naruto is different. Naruto is exactly the same as fourth generation when he was young, but whenever he sees Naruto, he will think of fourth generation, and when he thinks of fourth generation, he will think of Nine Tails, and then Mingming, Runjun. Hinata looked at Naruto distressedly, trying to comfort him, but before he could say a few words, he heard a huge roar coming from his stomach. Gululu. Instantly her face flushed with embarrassment. Ha ha ha, let's go, let's eat Ichiraku ramen. Naruto changed the subject with a ha-ha, and then added as if thinking of something, Sasuke treats you. Why me again? You are a money-capable person. A small portion of the Uchiha clan's property has been transferred to Sasuke since the genocide night. Even if there is only a small branch, this number is extremely huge. It is true to say that he is the one with the highest ability among the three. Uncle Ichiraku, tonkatsu ramen, miso ramen, tomato ramen. As soon as he walked in, Naruto couldn't wait to order. The tonkatsu ramen is for Naruto himself, the miso ramen is for Hinata, and the tomato ramen is for Sasuke. Good. Not long after, the steaming Ichiraku ramen was served, and the three of them were not polite, and started eating with big mouthfuls. After a while, a hill of empty bowls piled up in front of the three of them. The three ate a total of 80 bowls of Ichiraku ramen, of which Naruto ate 22 bowls, Sasuke ate 8 bowls, and the rest were wiped out by Hinata. Naruto and Sasuke's appetite has gradually increased since practicing the Kamezen fluid technique. In the world of Dragon Ball, other people who practice Guaxian style, such as Keelan and Yamcha, do not seem to have the setting of eating more, but in the ninja world, no matter whether they can use chi or not, all the people who practice Gaizen style will eat more. In the end, Naruto attributed it to the fact that people in the ninja world have more cells and faster metabolism, so they eat more. But even if the food intake becomes larger, the two together cannot eat as much as Hinata alone. Compared to Naruto, Hinata's appetite is more like a Saiyan. Hinata, Sasuke, what is your dream? The three of them were walking side by side on Konoha Street, when Naruto asked suddenly. Without thinking, Sasuke said, kill that man. Revive the Uchiha clan. Sasuke only wanted revenge in his heart now. Then Naruto turned to look at Hinata again. What about Hinata? This. Hinata kept fiddling with her fingers, hesitating for a long time but couldn't utter a complete sentence. Okay, I see. Naruto nodded seriously at Hinata. Sasuke. Single quote. What did she say? Single quote. Sasuke looked at Naruto and then at Hinata with a dazed look on his face. The two seemed to be communicating in some way he didn't know. Then Naruto gently held Hinata's hand. Holding. Hands again. Single quote. Hinata's face flushed instantly, and white smoke began to float from her head. And what Naruto said next made her forget her shyness. If one day I leave Konoha, will you be with me? Okay. Sasuke frowned, and looked at Naruto puzzled, thinking he was joking. But seeing Naruto's expression does not seem to be fake. Without even thinking about it, he said, where are you going? I will go. Sasuke doesn't care where he goes, as long as he can get stronger and take revenge. Konoha's position in Sasuke's heart is not as good as Naruto's. Seeing Sasuke's statement, Hinata was also anxious, but he couldn't speak because of excessive nervousness. Me too. I want to follow Naruto-kun. Single quote. Hinata shouted loudly in her heart. It is true that Hinata has parents and a family, but the Hyuga family does not have a deep bond with relatives. After all, there is a hierarchical system such as the clan and branch house, and it is not deep at all. In addition, Hinata's personality that doesn't like fighting is not even as good as Hanabi, who is 5 years younger than her, especially after being deprived of the family heir a few years ago. She is more like a little transparent in Hyuga's house. In fact, Hinata doesn't like that kind of family either, especially she has seen Neji Big Brother being punished by the caged bird forbidden technique more than once by the clan. She doesn't like such a family. Besides, if you get married in the future, you will have to have the surname Uzumaki Hinata. Isn't it right to leave with your husband? Oh, what was I thinking? Single quote. Hinata's delicate face turned red at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the white smoke on her head also rose rapidly, and then there was a puff. Before Hinata fainted, Naruto picked her up. Then Hinata fainted in Naruto's arms with a happy face. I accept your wishes. Hinata heard Naruto say this before she fell into a coma. Ninja school the next day. The topic of today's graduation exam is clone technique. Students who have read their names, please take the test on stage. The ninja school teaches a total of 3 ninjutsu: transformation technique, body replacement technique and clone technique. In the graduation exam, one must choose one of these 3 ninjutsu. Haruno Sakura. As the person with the best theoretical test scores, there is no doubt that he will be the first to play. Clone technique is accompanied by the release of the little Sakura chakra, and an identical little Sakura appears in front of everyone. Unlike the shadow clone entity clone, what the clone technique separates is just a phantom. It only serves as a cover-up during the battle. Perfect. Uruka gave a rather high evaluation. The next Uchiha Sasuke. Perfect. Soon it was Naruto's turn. Shadow clone technique. Boom. A clone identical to Naruto appeared. Looking at the 2 identical Narutos in front of him, Uruka's expression was a bit complicated. Naruto basically didn't have any communication with Uruka in the past few years at the ninja school, and the things the two had said could be counted on one hand. Out of the professionalism of ninja teachers, Uruka still said, "Excellent, next." Uruka has not yet untied the knot. Just like what Naruto thought when he first entered the ninja school, it has nothing to do with him whether he solves the knot or not. He treats himself well if he wants to be good to himself, and it doesn't matter if he doesn't want to. "Thank you, teacher," Naruto said respectfully, and sat down in his seat. 1 minute and 1 second passed, and soon Uruka announced the list of those who passed the exam and distributed the ninja's forehead protector. Half of the students did not pass the graduation examination. Even if the ninja school teaches these 3 ninjutsu, there are still a lot of people who can't pass it. Not everyone has ninja talents. Even Naruto in the original book, if he hadn't learned the shadow clone technique by stealing the sealed book, he wouldn't be able to pass. Although this pot is the 9 tails chakra interferences sake. After passing the graduation exam, the next step is to classify. Classes are divided into teams of 3, usually led by Jonin. It has been passed down since the Ninja World War period, and it can be regarded as an old tradition of Konoha. First shift. It would be great if I could be in the same class as Naruto-kun. Hinata listened anxiously to the information about class placement, and prayed softly with hope in her heart. It's a pity that her hopes will most likely come to nothing. Do you think class placement is based on grades? Just like Hinata's class is composed of Aburame Shino and Inazuka Tooth, and the member assignment is the reconnaissance class. Another meaningful group is the Ino Shikacho trio from class 10. And Naruto's class, 7th class, Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura. A group of Uchiha is very stupid and uncontrollable. What if it is a Uchiha? Sharingan has a natural suppression of tail beasts, which has the same effect as adamantine sealing chains of the Vortex family. It's not out of the question to arrange Sasuke and Naruto together. As expected, Naruto blankly glanced at Haruno Sakura, who was in ecstasy at being paired with Sasuke. There is a saying that Haruno Sakura's family is not simple. This kind of argument is that since the death of second Hokage, Senju chose to join the world, changed his face and integrated into the people of Konoha village, and the Senju family disappeared. Little Sakura has the blood of the Senju clan in her body, so Tsunade is willing to accept her as an apprentice. According to this statement, the composition structure of the 7th class is Uchiha, Vortex and Senju. As for how true this statement is, Naruto doesn't know. Anyway, Senju is really gone. Pity. Sasuke glanced at Hinata with a little regret. If possible, Sasuke also hopes that Hinata can be grouped with them. As a member of Naruto's training team, Hinata's strength is recognized by Sasuke, and Baien's advantage in detection is really great. It's a pity that the sky didn't come true. Naruto was in the same group as himself, but there was an extra. Sasuke looked at the pink-haired figure lost in thought. Haruno Sakura, who, from our class. At the same time, after hearing the composition of the 7th class, Hinata was stunned, and couldn't hold back the slap on the table. Paji. Under the shocked gazes of the others, starting from Hinata's palm, the table split from all directions, and finally turned into a pile of debris. Hinata will not become a violent Hinata limited to the world of Tsukuyomi. Single quote. However, Hinata like that seems to be quite interesting. Single quote. At the same time, the boy's heart, it's over, the eldest lady of the Hyuga clan was infected by that. One after another, Jonin began to leave with his team members. Members of the 8th class, come with me. The person who said this was a red-eyed beauty about 25 or 16 years old. This was Jonin, the leader of Hinata's team, and Yuhihong who had just been promoted to Jonin. This is the last test after placement. Conducted by Jonin, the team leader, the elimination rate was as high as 66%. True genin test. Hinata reluctantly bid farewell to Naruto and left the classroom with her 2 teammates. In fact, logically speaking, it is also a good choice for Hinata to be assigned to the 7th group of Naruto. The combination of Vortex, Uchiha, and Hyuga is not impossible. Obviously, the combination of 2 close combat and 1 scouting team is better than the full scouting team in terms of distribution. The leading teachers arrived one by one, and soon there were only members of the 7th class left in the entire classroom. Sasuke and Naruto stared at each other, and the whole classroom was quiet. Haruno Sakura felt the need to lighten the mood. You said why our teacher Jonin hasn't come yet, did something happen on the way? Sasuke, Naruto. The classroom continued to be silent. Ha ha ha. Seeing that no one was paying attention to her, little Sakura forced a smile and slapped haha, roaring inwardly. Sakura. Ah. Sasuke ignores me, it's so embarrassing. Obviously such a good opportunity. Single quote. Naruto gave Sasuke a look. You take her with you later. Sasuke rolled his eyes. No way. Single quote. She's annoying. Single quote. You take her. Single quote. Naruto continued to look at Sasuke. What if she is your future wife? Single quote. Sasuke glanced at little Sakura without leaving a trace. No, it's too weak, it doesn't look good. Single quote. Without even thinking about it, Sasuke decisively refused 3 times. How sad it would be for little Sakura to know. It was so much fun. Just when the two were exulting in eye contact, there was only a creak, and the door of the classroom was pushed open. A decadent white-haired man wearing a mask with dead fish eyes came in. After looking the 3 of them up and down, he said, "How should I put it? My first impression of you." Before he could finish speaking, Naruto's voice was heard. "Meet you again, Anbu's big brother." Yo! Kakashi raised his hand at Naruto as a response, looking at the familiar face and smile. A rare smile appeared in his dead fish-like eyes. Not bad. A group of 4 came to the roof of the ninja school. Kakashi looked at the 3 of them and said, "Then let's introduce ourselves first. You can talk about what you like, what you hate, your dreams, your hobbies." Seeing that no one answered, Haruno Sakura spoke first. "Teacher, let's make an example first. My name is Hitaki Kakashi. I keep my dislikes and likes a secret. Dreams seem to be nothing. As for interests, there are quite a lot. You don't know anything but your name." Sakura complained wildly in her heart. Sasuke said it didn't matter, and Naruto spoke. Konoha Jonin Hitaki Kakashi, graduated from ninja school at the age of 5, promoted to Chunin at the age of 6, and promoted to Jonin at the age of 12. He has the title of Konoha's first technician copy ninja Kakashi. Whether it is strength or task completion rate, it can be ranked among the top few Konoha shinobi players. Anbu's big brother, I have read your information from old man Danzo. Danzo. Kakashi caught a keyword. What's going on? Why is the teacher's kid with Danzo? Single quote. Ms. Kakashi is so good. Little Sakura was pleasantly surprised. At first, she thought that this dead fish-eyed teacher was unreliable. After listening to Naruto's introduction, her eyes lit up instantly, and she even directly used the word, sensei, in her address. It's great to have such a great teacher with Sasuke. Single quote. Sasuke also looked shocked. He was shocked by Kakashi's promotion speed. Graduated at the age of 5, Chunin at the age of 6, and Jonin at the age of 12. This is faster than Itachi. But why do you feel that he is weaker than Itachi? Single quote. Even if Sasuke can't practice exhaling chi, he can judge the strength of the opponent more or less after he has practiced Guaxian fluid technique. It's not a wise choice to reveal ninja information casually, Kakashi said with a low voice, looking at Naruto, as if he would be angry in the next second. Naruto responded with a smile still. We are a group now, I am just sharing information. Sharing information. It should have discovered something, as expected of the teacher's child. Single quote. The next one to introduce yourself is up to you. Kakashi pointed at Naruto. Me. Naruto blinked and said, my name is Whirlpool Naruto. I like to practice. I don't have anything to hate. I will beat him up. My dream is to become a great person like the 4th generation. Showing his iconic ruffian smirk, he twisted his wrist and made a sound like frying beans. If you're interested, beat sand coins. To be as great as the 4th generation. Single quote. It's just this rough personality and this smile, it's just like my teacher's wife. Well, she's indeed my teacher's wife's child. Kakashi suddenly felt a little headache when he thought of his wife's fiery character. Hope Naruto didn't fully inherit his teacher's wife's temper. Otherwise, some people will suffer in the future. It's hard to say whether Naruto has inherited Kushina's fiery temper. After all, the previous Naruto was a bully who would lift other people's roofs if he provoked him, and had a strong desire for revenge. It's so savage, it's worthy of being the bully Lu Tuo. Single quote. Sakura thought so, and gave Naruto a thumbs up. It's my turn. Uchiha Sasuke, a woman who likes to practice, become stronger, and hates troubles. I don't have any dreams. That kind of thing is just lip service, and I'm not interested. Sasuke said with his hands crossed in front of his lips, his eyes gradually turned cold. I have an ambition, I want to revive the Uchiha clan, and then kill that man. Kakashi showed such an expression when he heard the words. As for Haruno Sakura, only the word, so cool, remained in his mind. Naruto glanced at Sasuke without leaving a trace. Fortunately, the Uchiha clan did not really exterminate the clan. Otherwise, if Sasuke alone wants to revive the Uchiha clan, why not dye his hair yellow first, and regenerate dozens of little Sasuke to become the #1 stallion in the ninja world? Finally it's the girl. Kakashi turned his gaze to Haruno Sakura. My name is Haruno Sakura. The person I like is. Should I say, the dream of the person I like is. Should I say it? Haruno Sakura said shyly and glanced at Sasuke next to her, and then found that Sasuke was also looking at her. Then, Sasuke looked confused. What's wrong? Single quote. Kakashi. For girls at this age, love is more important than ninjutsu. Naruto continued to make eye contact. Just tell me when you see me, and you will take her with you in the future. Single quote. Sasuke rolled his eyes again. No, I hate troublesome weak women. Single quote. And the forehead is too wide. Single quote. Okay, that's all for the self-introduction. Kakashi clapped his hands and got straight to the point. The official mission will start tomorrow. The first mission, a survival exercise. Sasuke nodded, then looked at Naruto. Naruto understood. He asked, where? Konoha number 44 practice field. Don't be late for the 5 o'clock meeting. Sasuke nodded, then looked at Naruto again. Naruto. He said, okay. Kakashi. Then, there is no more. Don't you have anything else to ask? Single quote. Kakashi looked like you were going to ask me, but Haruno Sakura was obsessed with Sasuke's beauty. Sasuke and Naruto continued to make eye contact, and no one paid him any attention. Seeing Kakashi's station not leaving for a long time, Naruto said, Anbu's big brother, is there anything else? Kakashi was silent for a while. Remember to bring Jonin tools and don't eat breakfast. Otherwise, you'll vomit. Kakashi tried to look serious, but it didn't work. Also, Kakashi sighed helplessly in his heart, and turned his head to Naruto. Call me teacher Kakashi from now on. Naruto nodded seriously. Okay, Anbu's big brother. Standing on the roof looking at the three people below, Kakashi rubbed his temples. My group of students don't seem to be an ordinary headache, and they will be busy in the future. Single quote. After the brief exchange just now, he also had a general understanding of the characters of the three of them. It looks like a group of three, but in fact, the 7th class is divided into two groups. Sasuke and Naruto are a group, and small Sakura is independent of the two. To be more precise, it was rejected by the two. Kakashi is not blind. Naruto and Sasuke are unabashedly flirting with each other, and only Haruno Sakura, who is in a state of nympho, doesn't know it. Kakashi thought of his former teammates. Every time he had a conflict with Obito, Lin was used as a buffer, and with the mediation of Mr. Minato, he could always live in peace. The 7th class is much worse than the original, Minato class. Very nerve-wracking. The Genin team is assigned by the 3rd generation himself. Maybe Master Hokage has some deep meaning in this arrangement. Sasuke. Not long after leaving the ninja school, Naruto stopped Sasuke. Go to your house tonight. Sasuke. Looking at Sasuke's puzzled eyes, Naruto continued leisurely. There are some things you should know. Nanga Shrine. This is the place where our Uchiha family worships. Because no one has taken care of it all year round, the inside and outside of the shrine have long been overgrown with unknown plants. Sasuke tore off the creeper on the gate, and Sasuke gently pushed the shrine away. Dust fell like a torrential rain. What are we doing here? Shrines, that is, places where gods are worshipped, are also considered to be places where gods live, and they can also be used to worship ancestors. Nanga Shrine is a place where the Uchiha clan worships their ancestors. It has a very long history and can be traced back to the origin of the Uchiha clan. During Chinese New Year and festivals, the Uchiha people will come here to worship under the leadership of the patriarch. The area of the shrine is not large, and you can see the head at a glance. After looking around, Sasuke said, "There's nothing here." Growing up in Uchiha, Sasuke is no stranger to Nanga Shrine. When he was naughty, he accidentally knocked over the ancestral shrine plaque, and was caught and beaten by Fugaku. There is a secret room here, Naruto said slowly. Sasuke looked like you were kidding me. This is my home, where I grew up playing. Is there a secret room? I don't know. Then Naruto opened the secret room hidden in the shrine under Sasuke's unbelieving eyes. Sasuke, I do not know how. Sasuke knew that there was such a gathering place in the clan, but he had never been there, and he never thought it was in Nanhi Shrine. After all, only Uchiha who has opened his eyes is eligible to join the clan association. Although Sasuke is the son of the patriarch, he is not eligible if he has not opened his eyes. The size of the secret room is small, similar to the shrine above. The interior decoration is also very simple, and it can even be described as simple. There are many scrolls scattered on the ground, most of which are Uchiha's fire-style secrets and Uchiha's internal documents. There stands a stone monument. Open Sharingan. Naruto pointed to the ancient-looking stone tablet. Look at the content on it. Sasuke now trusts Naruto almost unconditionally, and immediately opened the three-god jade and looked towards the stone slab. This is this. Under the three-tomo Sharingan, the densely packed ghost symbols gradually turned into characters that Sasuke could understand. Naruto asked, "Can you understand?" Sasuke saw that Naruto didn't seem to understand, so he read slowly. A god divided yin and yang into two poles, and for the sake of stability, when the two poles are reunited, you can get all things. Okay, the above content is wrong. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Sasuke, who was looking at the content of the stele engrossed, was taken aback for a moment, and cast a questioning look at Naruto. Naruto patted the stele, and continued, "The content has been tampered with." There are countless questions in Sasuke's mind. Why does Naruto know Uchiha's secret room? Why did Naruto already know that the content on the stele was wrong? Why? It's just that Naruto didn't tell Sasuke, so he didn't ask. Uchiha is a descendant of Sage of Six Paths. In the opening lightning strike, Naruto's first sentence made Uchiha Sasuke stunned. This slate is actually left to Uchiha by Sage of Six Paths. To be precise, it is for his son. Sage of Six Paths. What's wrong with the fairy tale? The Sage of Six Paths, dating back more than 1,000 years, is indeed a fairy tale in the eyes of normal people. Let me tell you a story. Sage of Six Paths ended the war more than 1,000 years ago and founded the ninja sect. In his life, he had 2 children, Ashura, the eldest son who inherited the body of the immortal, and Indra, the second son who inherited the eye of the immortal. Naruto narrated the story of Sage of Six Paths in a very concise language, but slightly modified some details, such as the eldest son is actually Indra and the second son is Ashura. Because of disagreement, and because of a villain's instigation, Indra and Ashura stood on opposite sides. The struggle between the two carried on to their descendants. The Senju are the descendants of Ashura, and the Uchiha clan are the descendants of Indra. The descendants of the two have always been feuds. Until the first Hokage turned out to end the war again and eliminate the war between clans. He established Ninja Village, and families such as Uchiha, Senju, and Hyuga joined in one after another, and now Konoha is here. After Naruto finished speaking, he quietly waited for Sasuke to digest the information. Sasuke closed his eyes for a long time before slowly opening them. Looking at Naruto with burning eyes, he said, whether it's Sage of Six Paths, Indra, or Ashura, it doesn't matter what happened 1,000 years ago. Why do you know so much? Yes, he is right. Brat, why do you know so much? Nine Tails in the sealed space also asked at the same time. He knew the Sage of Six Paths, he knew Indra, he knew Ashura. Other than seniority, Nine Tails can be sure that Naruto isn't lying. According to Nine Tails, Indra is the big brother and Ashura is the younger brother. So Naruto is a younger brother. Question: how does Naruto know these things? What he said was true about what happened more than 1,000 years ago. Nine Tails lay sprawled on the soft cushion in the sealed space, staring curiously at Naruto's spiritual body rolling on top of him. Since Naruto was able to change the interior scene of the sealed space, Nine Tails kept making Naruto change it. Whenever he sees something novel in the outside world, he will ask Naruto to buy one for himself. For example, now he has taken a fancy to a plush cushion, and Naruto insisted on getting him an oversized one. Now he likes to roll on this plush cushion the most. Naruto, lying on Nine Tails' stomach, looked up at Nine Tails, and said in an extremely serious tone, "Kurama, do you know that you talk in your sleep?" Quote? Nine Tails widened his eyes, then shook his head frantically. Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could this old man do such a shameful thing? Naruto said solemnly, but you told me these, after you fell asleep. Nine Tails, you also told me that you often troubled Shuhei because you were in the desert once. Okay, stop talking. Nine Tails covered his face with one paw, trying to cover Naruto's mouth with the other. In the future, you are not allowed to reveal to other tailed beasts that I am sleeping and talking in my sleep. Good. Wait. Nine Tails came to his senses after a while, pointing at Naruto and shouting, "Smelly brat, I was almost tricked by you again." Some are secrets that even the old man doesn't know. How do you know? Hey. Naruto smirked and tried to get away with it. Nine Tails doesn't like him. Hey fart, laugh ass. I know so much, of course because of, Naruto said and paused here, dragging the end of the sound for a long time, satisfying the appetite of Sasuke and Nine Tails, and then slowly continued. Indra, I am your big brother Ashura. Because I am your big brother, Indra. Because I am your big brother, Indra. Sasuke was full of milk, and these words echoed in his mind. Are you Ashura, the eldest son of Sage of Six Paths? Sasuke pointed at Naruto blankly, saw Naruto nodding, and pointed at himself again. I am the second son, Indra. Seeing Naruto nod again, then Sasuke fell silent. Reincarnated big brother or something, it's so sudden, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. Sasuke looked at Naruto in confusion, and called tentatively, big brother. Oh, good. Sasuke woke up instantly, his face was as black as coal balls. According to Naruto, because the Uzumaki family is also the descendant of Ashura, Ashura reincarnated on him, awakened part of the memory of the previous life, and retrieved his chakra. Then he found his younger brother, Indra's reincarnation, Uchiha Sasuke. That's why he said he was his brother that time in the hospital. That's why Naruto's physique is so strong after inheriting the immortal body. Not only Sasuke thought so, but Ninetales who was sealed in Naruto also thought so. No wonder the old man thinks your chakra smells a bit familiar. Thinking about it this way, it is indeed the smell of Ashura chakra. Reasonable, well-founded, and convincing. Like a fart, the original Uzumaki Naruto is the reincarnation of Ashura chakra. Yes, the problem is not me. Single quote. Where is Ashura's chakra now? Naruto doesn't know. Anyway, it's not in his body, the ghost knows where it went after reincarnation. Ninetales would feel like it, purely because he got limped by Naruto. Preconceived notions made Ninetales feel like that was the case. In fact, the reason why Naruto is so strong is because he practiced Guaxian fluid art and chi. Brother then, Sasuke yelled halfway and got stuck. He couldn't continue talking anyway. There was an inexplicable emotion in his heart that was very repulsive called Naruto Big Brother. Obviously don't hate Naruto but very repulsed calling him Big Brother. Is it because he is the reincarnation of his younger brother Indra, as Naruto said? A rare trace of guilt appeared on Sasuke's face. The first thing to do when awakening the memory of the past life is to come to me, but I don't even want to call Big Brother, it's really too bad. If you find it difficult to speak, just call me Naruto. Naruto was very magnanimous, and patted Sasuke's shoulder with an expression that I understand, I know, I understand. Seeing Naruto like this, Sasuke felt even more guilty, and secretly vowed in his heart that he must treat Naruto better in the future. And Naruto was about to twitch with joy in his heart. The last thing I want to say is the villain who provoked the relationship between the two of us. No matter how happy he was, Naruto's face was very serious, according to my investigations over the years. The guy was found alive. Sasuke was shocked when he heard this. If what Naruto said was true, wouldn't it mean that this guy lived hundreds of years? What is this stuff? Although it is well hidden, there are still some clues left. There are traces of him secretly intervening in the 3 ninja wars before and after. Ninja war. This word is too far away for Sasuke, let alone a ninja war. He has not even experienced a few regular battles. I suspect that the deaths of first generation and second generation are related to him. First Hokage Senju Hashirama died not long after his battle with Madara in the Valley of the End. With the vitality of Senju Hashirama, it is unimaginable that he would die in his prime. The death of second Hokage Senju Tobirama was even more inexplicable. He, who possessed the high mobility space-time ninjutsu of Flying Thunder God technique, actually died in a fight with Cloud Shinobi Village Golden Horn and Silver Horn in the process of breaking the back. The strength shown by Jinzhou and Yinzhou in the later stage cannot be killed with second Hokage, maybe because of the Six Paths treasure. Regardless of whether it was Black Zetsu's work or not, let's put a hat on it first. Make Sasuke a strong enemy. After hearing Naruto's words, Sasuke's face darkened. Then do you know his purpose? The enemy is strong, but oneself is weak. Sasuke seems to have returned to that night of genocide, and the feeling of being helpless in front of that person is really terrible. I don't know, there is too little known information. Naruto shook his head. What is certain is that this guy must be secretly planning some terrifying conspiracy. Sasuke then asked, what should I do? You just need to practice hard and become stronger with peace of mind. Let's teach the big brother the rest. Naruto patted his chest thumping, and spared no effort to take advantage of Sasuke. Sasuke, I just need to practice with peace of mind, is it because I'm too weak? Indra, you haven't awakened the memory of the past, and you will become very powerful when you awaken. Naruto comforted. If Sasuke really awakens Indra's memory, the first thing is to kill Naruto with a knife. I said it's okay, don't use mind reading on me. Single quote. I really don't know that kind of thing. Liar. Single quote. The conversation between the two of Zuoming lasted until the early morning. Because it was too late, Naruto stayed at Sasuke's house. Anyway, his house has many houses. Sasuke, who was lying on the bed, glanced at the room where Naruto was. Finally, there is some popularity in the family. Single quote. Thinking of this, Sasuke got into bed, looked at the ceiling above his head, lost in thought. Brother, Single quote. The next day, at 5 o'clock in the morning, Haruno Sakura stood alone in practice field number 44, a gust of cold wind blew by, and she shivered from the cold. Sakura was furious. Where's the person? Where's the person? Where is this old lady? Sasuke and Naruto didn't arrive until 9 o'clock. Sorry little Sakura, Naruto said to Haruno Sakura with a smirk, the two of us lost our way on the road of life just now. You don't mind, do you? It's okay. Haruno Sakura tried hard to look like a lady in front of Sasuke, I just arrived too. Sakura kept roaring inwardly, that's why you let an invincible young girl stand in this place so early in the morning. Single quote. Gas. Die. Old. Mother. Up. Single quote. The air is shaking and cold, when will little Sakura stand up? Where's Mr. Kakashi? Haruno Sakura felt that his anger was about to be overwhelmed, and tried to divert the topic to distract. The world is so beautiful and I'm so cranky, it's not good, it's not good. Single quote. Hey, isn't this here? Naruto pouted towards the direction outside the practice field, that white hair who came late, who is not Kakashi. Yo, good morning. Kakashi raised his right hand and greeted the three of them, I just lost my way on the road of life. Nonsense. Haruno Sakura couldn't hold back the anger in her heart any longer. Regardless of maintaining her ladylike image, she pointed at Kakashi and yelled loudly, even the excuses are exactly the same. And you said you were not in collusion. Sasuke picked his ears. This woman is so noisy and annoying. Single quote. Exactly the same. Hearing this, Kakashi glanced back and forth at the three of them, and finally landed on Naruto. Anbu's big brother, you are Konoha's famous late king. Kakashi sighed when he heard the words. The most worrying thing still happened. Single quote. It's okay to know that Kakashi is late, the problem is that Naruto didn't tell little Sakura. Regarding Danzo's problem, Kakashi went to see third generation yesterday, and third generation informed him that Naruto had been taught by Danzo for a while. Taught by Danzo? If so, it makes sense. Kakashi had been at the root for a while, it was a terrible past, and it almost fell into darkness. For Danzo, for the roots, no one has more say than Kakashi. It's over. My image is. It's over. Haruno Sakura basked in the chagrin of his broken image. What she didn't know was that Sasuke didn't care at all. I have 2 bells here, and it's your task to snatch them away before 12 noon. Kakashi said while taking out an alarm clock from his pocket. Those who fail to snatch the bell within the specified time are not eligible for lunch, and will be tied to this stake. There are only 2 bells, so someone is bound to be bound. In other words, one of the 3 of you is destined to be eliminated. Kakashi tried his best to play up the atmosphere very well, but apart from Haruno Sakura being intimidated by him, Naruto and Sasuke were not affected at all. Grab the bell, I miss it very much. The 4th generation said a rare word. I went out to do some errands some time ago, and I haven't come back until now. But he can't stay for long, and he will set off again soon. After all, the 4th generation is one of the few trustworthy existences in Naruto. It was Obito that kid was tied to the stake, like it was yesterday. Single quote. 4th generation said with a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. I heard Kakashi continue to say, it doesn't matter if you use a shuriken. If you don't report your determination to kill me, you can't get the bell. Hearing this, Naruto glanced at him. Are you serious? Single quote. If you can take me seriously and survive with 1 punch, I will lose. Single quote. It's a pity that Kakashi can't read minds, and he doesn't know what Naruto is thinking. Are you ready? If you are ready, practice. He said and pressed the switch of the alarm clock. Start. As Kakashi's voice fell, Haruno Sakura took the lead and went into the woods to hide. Naruto and Sasuke stood where they were. So confident in your own strength. Kakashi glanced at Naruto and Sasuke, who were still standing still, and took out a book with 18R printed on it from the pocket around his waist, named, Little Liu Bei, in the Heaven of Intimacy, and lazily flipped through it. I'm a Jonin anyway. Single quote. Let's play with you guys. Single quote. Although seemingly indifferent on the surface, his attention is actually on Naruto. If you are careless, you will really die. Kakashi still remembers what 3rd generation told him before he left. Anbu of the third generation is like a sieve in front of Danzo, so why not Danzo's roots in front of the third generation? Danzo thought that Naruto could hide the power of 9 tails from third generation. Little do they know that everything is under the control of the third generation. What kind of surprise can the teacher's child bring me? Single quote. Ms. Kakashi, be careful. Naruto kindly reminded him that it is rare that he is not called Anbu's big brother anymore. Out of the corner of Kakashi's eye, Naruto actually started to seal. As Konoha's #1 technician, Kakashi can achieve 4 seals per second, which is the fastest speed in the ninja world. And Itachi's seal speed is even more exaggerated, reaching 6 per second, and almost any ninjutsu is instant. Now Naruto is even more powerful, his printing speed. 1 print in 2 seconds. At any rate, it is better than the original 8 seconds a seal. These seals are: Hitaki Kakashi, who has copied thousands of ninjutsu, recognized the jutsu Naruto was about to release at a glance. Wind-style Great Breakthrough. Sea-level ninjutsu, which can spit out wind from the mouth, can blow away the enemy, and achieve the effect of containment. The technique itself does not have much lethality, and it belongs to the most basic ninjutsu in wind-style ninjutsu. It is also Naruto who has practiced with Danzo for so long, and there are only a few ninjutsu that can be displayed. Naruto just learned slowly and has no talent. In addition, he doesn't like the troublesome things of making seals. Ninjutsu waste. Great Breakthrough ranks last among Wind Style's many ninjutsu, but it has a wider range, so it's not a big problem if you pay attention to it a little bit. It should be to use Wind Style Great Breakthrough to create interference and then attack. Just pay attention to Naruto's actions in the follow-up. I heard that he is very good at physical skills. Kakashi thought so, and the next moment he regretted it. Wind Style Great Breakthrough has a feature that the strength of the wind is linked to the caster chakra. And Naruto is now at the Chatanla level. Violent hurricanes erupted from Naruto's mouth. All of a sudden, sand and rocks were flying, and the leaves were rustling by the wind, and then the wind became stronger and stronger, mixed with the sound of cracking, when the branches were broken from time to time, and then the stone pier with a height of 1 person also began to move slowly under this strong wind, and finally, float out. Kakashi's eyes widened, and at the next moment, chakra burst out on the soles of his feet, using body flicker technique with all his strength, trying to escape the range of Naruto's ninjutsu. However, the range of ninjutsu in Naruto's move is too large, and it is impossible to avoid it. Earth-style Earth Flow Wall. Kakashi formed a seal at an extremely fast speed, almost instantly, clapped his hands to the ground, and a stone wall rose up to block Kakashi. The bare stone wall does not even have the iconic dog head, so one can imagine how urgent the situation is. It's a pity that even the Earth Flow Wall couldn't stop Naruto's Great Breakthrough, and it fell apart after less than 10 seconds. Earth-style Earthquake Core. Kakashi reacted quickly enough and sealed again, but this time he did not use the Earth Flow Wall to make a stone wall, but chose an earthquake core that can change the terrain. The ground dropped rapidly, forming a hole in which Kakashi hid. 1 minute, a full minute passed before Naruto's ninjutsu was barely over. When Kakashi climbed out of the pothole, he was stunned by the sight in front of him. The big tree surrounded by 1 person was uprooted, huge rocks were flying everywhere, and the entire number 44 training ground was overturned. You told me this is Wind-style Great Breakthrough. This is clearly the breakthrough of Wind-style Typhoon. Sea-level ninjutsu abruptly reached the destructive power above A-level. Kakashi really didn't know what expression to use. If you are careless, you will really die. Single quote. The explanation of third generation before leaving came to mind. As expected of Mr. Third Generation. Not to mention Kakashi, the little Sakura hiding in the dark is completely messed up. Who am I? Where am I? What should I do? This is my teammate. Naruto, it's okay to let me go first. Sasuke on the side had already looked familiar, and even a little dissatisfied. What will I do if you kill him? The two agreed last night to use Kakashi to test Sasuke's growth during this time. I'm sorry, Sasuke. Itchy hands sometimes itchy hands. Naruto patted his head and said apologetically. I'll try the Genin technique. After all, it's hard to master. Anyway, Mr. Kakashi wasn't hurt. I'll leave the rest of the time to you. Help. Don't call me that weird name. Substitution. Naruto and Sasuke clapped their hands together, Naruto silently stood behind, and Sasuke stepped forward. After experiencing the baptism of the Naruto Typhoon breakthrough, Kakashi put away his contempt, put away the intimacy paradise that was only blown on the cover with a distressed face, and looked at Sasuke seriously. Sasuke can't possibly have the strength of Naruto. Single quote. Don't worry, Mr. Kakashi. Sasuke is not as strong as me, and he doesn't know the ninjutsu I just did. Sasuke Chakra's attributes are thunder and fire, and he knows almost nothing about wind-style ninjutsu. Naruto went on to say, the ninjutsu just now really consumed chakra. It actually consumed 1% of my chakra. Fortunately, it will recover. Kakashi. I was offended. HMPH, I'm not as strong as Naruto, and I don't know wind-style ninjutsu. Sasuke admitted very generously. After training together for so long, Sasuke admires Naruto the most in the whole village. Has anyone seen Konoha village at 3 or 4 in the morning? See Naruto almost every day. Sasuke admires the almost crazy way of cultivation. Looking at Kakashi, Sasuke slowly opened a scroll in the ninja bag, but Mr. Kakashi, you have to underestimate me because of this. Kakashi. When did I underestimate you? Single quote. Along with a puff of white smoke, a short sword appeared in Sasuke's hand. Naruto will basically give Sasuke a share of the fencing and body skills that Naruto learned from Danzo, plus some secret skills from Ghost Lamp City and other places. Sasuke is quite strong now. Be careful and suffer a big loss. The next moment Sasuke disappeared in place, and he approached Kakashi at super fast speed. Hey, why don't you listen to what people say, kid? Kakashi took out a handful of kunai from the ninja tool bag on his waist, and disappeared in the same place in the next second. Ding, ding, clang. Intensive clanging and clanging sounds continued to be heard in the air, which was the sound produced by the handover of ninja sword and kunai. Sasuke and Kakashi are competing with each other at super high speed at the same time. Kakashi learned family swordsmanship since he was a child, and he was promoted to Jonin at the age of 12. He also debuted as a taijutsu ninja at the beginning. It's a pity that he lost one eye due to the Kanabi Bridge incident, and replaced it with a friend's Sharingan, giving up his proud sword skills and turning to ninjutsu. Kakashi is not a member of the Uchiha tribe, so this Sharingan cannot be closed, and it consumes the chakra in the body all the time, causing Kakashi to often lack blue in battle. And because of the mist ninja incident, she personally killed her teammate Nohara Rin and fell into confusion and darkness for a while. Falling into endless self-blame and unable to get out, I began to give up on myself. The former genius has also become a decadent salty fish who only knows how to read R18 novels. Even so, Kakashi Taijutsu at this time is quite powerful, and the 3 values are body 8, strength 7, and speed 8. Such a value can also be mixed upstream in Konoha. It's just a little empty. After Short Sword collided with kunai again, Sasuke and Kakashi stepped aside in a very tacit understanding. Looking at Kakashi, Sasuke said, "You are strong. You are strong." Single quote. The very perfect Konoha-style swordsmanship. If not for the lack of experience, I'm afraid I can't handle it. Looking at Sasuke, who is now holding a dagger, Kakashi seemed to see himself in the past. The same proficiency in sword skills, the same far surpassing his peers, the same handsome and compelling. What just happened? Haruno Sakura looked confused, completely unable to see the battle between the two with her dynamic vision. But she is not an idiot, and this will also be reflected. As expected of Sasuke-kun, you can even compete with Kakashi-sensei. Single quote. Naruto saw the whole battle process clearly. He frowned slightly. Sasuke had a slight advantage in the battle just now. But this is just a tentative attack, and neither of them has really contributed yet. Come again. Sasuke's cool and handsome face rarely showed excitement, and before he knew it, he was able to fight Jonin without losing the wind. So I'm already this strong. Single quote. Itachi, you are next. Single quote. At this moment, Sasuke was full of confidence, as if he had turned into a speed party. The actual real situation is that Kakashi released the water. He is no longer a pure taijutsu ninja. Ninjutsu, taijutsu, and illusion are all areas he is good at. Summoning, enchantment, sealing, and even 8 inner gates know a little bit. Coupled with the fact that thousands of ninjutsu have been copied, no matter what type of ninja you encounter or what kind of special abilities you have, you can go up and deal with it for a while. This is also the origin of his title of Hatake 50-50, who can pass 2 moves when he meets anyone. Now he is a standard hexagonal fighter. The only shortcoming is that the amount of chakra is too small. Just throw it away, let it go and it's gone. In the fight with Sasuke, Kakashi only used pure body jutsu. There was another series of dense ringing sounds. In just a few breaths, Sasuke and Kakashi fought against each other no less than several times. The simple offensive and defensive battles are almost evenly divided. Sasuke wins because of his rapid offensive, wave after wave like a tide. Kakashi's advantage is that his speed is faster than Sasuke's line every time, so that every attack of Sasuke can be defeated. Kakashi blocks. Dance of the Crescent Moon. Unable to attack for a long time, Sasuke also started to make real moves. His figure was divided into 3, and the 3 Sasuke slashed at Kakashi from the left, right and top at extremely fast speeds. This is. Facing the menacing Sasuke, Kakashi showed a shocked expression again. Are all the students who graduated from ninja school so cruel? Single quote. Kakashi, the daimyo of Dance of the Crescent Moon, is not unfamiliar at all, not only not unfamiliar but even quite familiar. Some of his Anbu teammates know how to do this. This is the pinnacle of Konoha-style swordsmanship. 1 divides into 3, 3 divides into 1, the sword technique is changeable and impeccable. Single quote. It is the power of the Dance of the Crescent Moon. But is this a technique available to students fresh out of ninja school? Sasuke's speed is faster than Kakashi's colleagues in Anbu. Kakashi no longer hides his strength, and directly lifts the forehead protector that blocks his left eye, revealing the 3 Tomo Sharingan inside. 3 black hooked jades spun wildly in Kakashi's left eye. With the blessing of Sharingan's dynamic vision, Sasuke's movement slowly slowed down in Kakashi's eyes. See clearly. Single quote. At the same time, the moment Sasuke saw Kakashi Sharingan, he was in a trance for a moment, and his movements slowed down. Sharingan. Single quote. Why does Kakashi have a Sharingan of the Uchiha clan? Single quote. One question after another was circling in Sasuke's mind, and it was just such a trance that Kakashi easily avoided the Crescent Moon Dance's attack. Naruto on the side frowned. Yes, Naruto didn't tell Sasuke anything about Kakashi. The intelligence of the 2 sides is equal to better compare the strength. There is a huge difference between being prepared and not being prepared. If it was on the battlefield, Sasuke's distraction would have been fatal. Naruto couldn't bear it anymore, and shouted loudly, Sasuke, what are you doing? A ninja is to be calm at any time and in any situation. Sasuke, you don't deserve this at all. Qualify. It really disappoints me. With the sound of Naruto's voice, Sasuke also woke up. Kakashi doesn't even use illusions, and if you miss a Sharingan, you will be distracted like this. You can't just kneel when you use illusions. After practicing for so long, you have reached the belly of a dog. If you lose, Naruto said, with a hint of coldness in his voice, after returning home, the training will be doubled. Hearing the words, super double, Sasuke shuddered subconsciously. The last time I heard this super double was the last time. It was an experience Sasuke definitely didn't want to recall. What's great about Sharingan, I have it too. Single quote. A tinge of red appeared in Sasuke's eyes, and then the same black goblins as Kakashi emerged. Sharingan open. Single quote. Firstly, he didn't want to disappoint Naruto, and secondly, he absolutely didn't want to experience the feeling of training super double again. That would really kill. This time it was Kakashi's turn to be shocked. Looking into Sasuke's eyes, Kakashi's eyes widened, the eyeballs were about to fall out. What appeared in Sasuke's eyes was not the 1 goat or 2 Godama, but the 3 Tomo Sharingan, who was the same as Kakashi. This 3 Tomo Sharingan was activated the last time Sasuke experienced a super double. 12-year-old 3 Tomo Sharingan, whose eye-opening technique is still inferior to his own, can no longer be described as a genius. Kakashi didn't know what words to use to describe his mood at this moment. First Naruto, then Sasuke, why are all my disciples so strong? Yet his shock was not over. Because Sasuke started to undress. Cough, it's not seduction. That thing is probably only useful for little Sakura. Boom. Single quote. Sasuke threw the clothes back and fell heavily on the ground, kicking up waves of dust. The sharp-eyed Kakashi immediately recognized that this is the same way of cultivation as Guy. Practice with a heavy load. Just by looking at the small hole in the ground, you can tell that the weight is definitely not light. By the way, the weight suit that Sasuke wears is also left over from Naruto. How to say, Sasuke's development is actually not slow, but it is indeed so much worse than Naruto. So far Sasuke has picked up Naruto and used the rest. Then Sasuke started to take off his pants. Cough, it's really not seduction. There is also weight inside the pants. Next came socks, wristbands and even a Konoha forehead protector strapped to the top of the head. How much weight does this guy carry? A large drop of sweat unconsciously hung on the back of Kakashi's head. Students these days are really not cute at all. Single quote. What to do, the pressure is great. Would it be embarrassing if I couldn't fight for a while? If it wasn't for a Naruto who was standing next to him, Kakashi would have wanted to sneak attack Sasuke. Let you see what is the complex world of adults. As for little Sakura, when she saw Sasuke take off her clothes, she ran out of her hiding place, and when she saw Sasuke take off her pants, she already collapsed with contented nosebleeds. She didn't see it until the end, but Sasuke was actually wearing a second pair of boxers. Everyone in the 7th class seems to have forgotten their original intentions, just like Guy's class at the beginning. Bell? What bell? What are you grabbing? I don't even know what you are talking about. Oh, maybe one still remembers. On Naruto's right hand behind his back, a string of silver-white round balls shone brightly under the sunlight. Kakashi hadn't noticed that the bell around his waist was long gone. My body is much more relaxed. Sasuke, who took off the weight all over his body, moved his body a few times and made a sound of frying beans, while expressing a few words. Are you ready? Although it was a question sentence, it didn't mean to ask at all. He continued talking on his own, and took out another scroll from the ninja bag. New weapons. Ms. Kakashi. With the white smoke from the scroll opening and the word, she, falling, Sasuke shot out like a sharp arrow. So fast. The 3 hook jades in Kakashi's left eye twirled crazily, lifting kunai up. Both sides showed all their trump cards, and it was time for a real fight. Sasuke's speed at this moment has more than doubled compared to just now, and Kakashi, who was steadily suppressing Sasuke's speed, can hardly keep up. It just came to Kakashi in an instant. Fortunately, there is 3 Tomo Sharingan, otherwise Kakashi's dynamic vision would not be able to capture Sasuke's movements. It swung down towards Kakashi's front in the way of smashing Washin. The attack method is still too straightforward. Single quote. Kakashi responded with kunai without even thinking about it. As Kakashi, whom Guy calls his eternal opponent, he is naturally very aware of the effects of weight training. Unloading the load will greatly increase your speed, but your strength will not increase significantly. With Sharingan, Kakashi, whose dynamic vision has been upgraded to ultimate, is most worthy of a speed opponent. Fortunately, Kakashi's opponent is not Naruto, otherwise Naruto will tell you what acceleration attack is. Now the advantage is, when, the moment Kakashi took Sasuke's attack head-on, Kakashi regretted it. Not to mention that the entire right arm holding kunai was numb, and there was a piercing pain in the wrist. How can the strength increase so much? Single quote. What the hell is it that has so many spines? Single quote. Kakashi didn't have time to think too much, because Sasuke's second attack also came. The sound of breaking wind roared past, Kakashi sideways dodged without thinking. After suffering a big loss, I dare not take it hard. How could Sasuke miss a good opportunity to attack? Kakashi dodged him and followed him immediately, and quickly caught up with Kakashi with his faster speed than Kakashi. Then the 4 eyes met. Illusion Sharingan. The 3 hook jade in Kakashi's left eye spun wildly. Sasuke paused slightly and was taken aback for a moment. In just a few tenths of a second, Kakashi was instantly out of Sasuke's attack range. Seeing this, Naruto frowned again. A pair of 3-pointed jade hit the illusion of a 3-pointed jade on the opposite side. Even if Kakashi's thing can open Mangekyo, Sasuke is too embarrassing. It's a pity that I don't know illusions, otherwise I would definitely give Sasuke a set of illusions against Spree. Sasuke also noticed this fact and immediately chased after him. Her little face flushed red, and she didn't know whether it was from anger or shame. Earth-style Tuliuda. Kakashi resisted the pain in his right hand and quickly closed the seal. The ground under Sasuke's feet turned into a swamp, forcibly restricting Sasuke's movements. Kakashi had time to see Sasuke's weapon clearly. I saw Sasuke holding a huge mace in his hand. Kakashi, I was just hit by this thing. What about the good knife skills? Where's your crescent dance? How to use this thing? The mace is what Naruto asked Sasuke to use. When Naruto asked Sasuke to use the mace, he refused. If you can't let me use it, I will use it. Besides, this weapon is really ugly. But after using it once, Sasuke found that this thing is really easy to use. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.